Welcome back to the Build Challenge Foxtrot results. So the challenge was to build a landing craft that could take my truck here and could go from the dock and place it on the beach. So let's go ahead and we'll do a quick drive-by of all the vehicles. We have quite a few cool vehicles here. So here are all the entrants for the Build Challenge Foxtrot. So we have quite a few builds here, some really interesting ones, builds from different time periods, different types of styles. So some really cool builds here. It was really fun to see everybody working on all their stuff here, so really looking forward to testing all of these out. As you can see, we got quite a few entries here. And let's go ahead and we'll start the reviews. And the first build is the FH38K Hovercraft Ferry Foxtrot. So let's go ahead and take some pictures. So we have a hovercraft here, pretty cool. Some nice pictures on here. Good detailing on the pictures, so that's nice to see. A lot of pictures in here. I like to see that in a workshop page. The FH38K Hovercraft Ferry Foxtrot by Floating Text. This vehicle is made for Captain Cockrell's Foxtrot Challenge to carry his key trucks. Specific notes for the captain at the end. There is the Steam link, I assume, to the truck. Description: this is a hovercraft very loosely based on the LCAC hovercraft of the U.S. military. Hovercrafts propel themselves by blowing air into the skirt and creating a kind of bubble of pressure, and then with propellers they glide on this bubble. Hovercrafts are able to go on land, water equally since the pressure can build up under them. Either way, hovercrafts' only kryptonite is steep or uneven terrain or big waves. For this reason, they are meant to be used in mild weather and on reasonable slopes and not rocky coasts. In real life, hovercrafts are quite expensive and maintenance-heavy vehicles, but my Stormworks designs are on the cheap side, made to be reliable and easy to handle. This does not mean you don't have to learn how it behaves, but I'm here to help you with useful checklists, tips. Hope you will experience how cool and interesting vehicles can make, both in Stormworks and IRL. Walk through the vehicle for operating personnel. This vehicle can carry a small vehicle, max 2 tons. Not tested. Personnel must exit the vehicle while carried. Up to 3 passengers can travel with the vehicle. Hearing protection is mandatory for passengers. The vehicle is powered by two 12-cylinder radials, water-cooled, naturally aspirated. It can run on one engine, but that's only for safety. Please operate the vehicle with both engines if you can. Each engine has an access hatch opened via a button in the cockpit left back. Fuel ports and recharge ports are behind these doors for safety reasons. Master power breaker is in the cockpit right back. There are ropes, cables, fire extinguishers, and first aid kits in the middle hatches should the need arise. Door has a low profile button to not be hit by cargo. If you stand on the deck, it's at arm's height, about half a meter below the window. All right, I'll go through the startup checklist when we get in there. So we'll go down here. Driver's guide, important notes. The skirt will collapse on water if you do a complete stop or get a vector more than 90 degrees. Vector means where the craft is actually moving. Since the hovercraft can glide in every direction, it can turn semi-independently of the vector of velocity. You can use this for your advantage for sharp turns on land. If the nose dips into the water on one side, turn away from that side and it will level itself. If the whole nose drops, do a rapid slalom and it should fix it. The vehicle is incapable to reverse, and if it goes backwards in water, it will sink for sure. The main body of the water is airtight, so it can float, but is very glitchy, not recommended. Also, spawning it on water isn't recommended for the same reason. However, you can do these for fine steering taps with AD keys. For more steering, hold the direction you want to turn for short bursts and preemptively tap the opposite direction to stop the turning. Always keep in mind, turning will push you forward too. Always be mindful that this vehicle has effectively zero friction. It will slide. If you turn off the air to skirt, that is your handbrake. Hovercrafts are not meant for extreme hill climbing nor bad weather. Sailing, please never operate over 25% wind. Also slow down when you want to transition to from the coast and choose the flattest possible places. There are warning indicators and alarm. If you hear the buzzer, examine the engine panels to the right. The light shows which engine has problems, and from the gauges you can identify the problem. The alarm will go off if there's less than 10% fuel or charge left for the engine's cooling water is hotter than 80 Celsius. I have not stress tested the engine yet, but they seem reliable. Notes for Captain for the Foxtrot Challenge. I painted a line where the truck's front end should be pasted above the hovercraft there, please. If it should fall in its place and the electric connectors should engage, upper connectors, okay, that's a weird sentence. If it's the upper connector, that's all right, just a cosmetic error, okay. As I said, it's not meant to float in the water powered off, but it can do it, but expect some splashing, and also don't drop in the water, please. All right, so we'll try to get in there. It's supposed to be spawned at the dock. That's where it's going to be spawned, so we'll spawn it there and see how it performs. All right, so we have the first vehicle. So, it said that this could be splashing or will be splashing if spawned in the water. Again, that's what the challenge is. It has to be spawned in the water. So I'm going to go ahead and I will be spawning it there. Go ahead and we'll go through the checklist here. I'll try to jump on board. So we'll go ahead and we'll start looking around here. It's a little bit tough with all this splashing water. So we have some equipment over here. That's nice to see. That looks like a hinged dock hatch there. So some information there. That's interesting. Okay, more tools there. Again, they're all getting spawned here. That was in the instructions, and that's why. Despite it being a unique case, we're still going to spawn it here. I am interested how to get in here. We'll check it in a second here. So, startup checklist, check fuel, battery, right panel, headphones on, master power. I have to get in there, so I don't see any instruction to get in here. I'm trying to find it here. It's going to be weird. Again, this is kind of the risk with doing something that's unique is, I have to try to figure it out. So I'll be putting the vehicle in, but I wanted to do a walk around first. I cannot even figure out how to get in here. So let's try to figure that out here. Okay, so it's right here. There's the toggle button. One thing I've been doing lately that I recommend is, like, if you do like a couple digits off on the RGB values and you paint right here, it looks like it's just a little shadow, and that way you can see it. All right, so let's just take a little look in here. I'm just looking at the cockpit. So the cockpit looks well set up. We're going to have to get this one going here. So I'm going to go ahead and we will paste in the truck, and then I'll respawn it. I was going to do a walk around first, so the vehicle wasn't sitting on it for too long, but this one's not liking sitting here. All right, so back with it. The truck is attached, so let's go ahead and we'll try to get on there. And I'm going to quickly fire it up and get moving. Again, they're all going to be spawned here. That was in the instructions, so, I'm not going to spawn this one on the land. They all were meant to be spawned on in the Solar South here. So it's a startup checklist. Check fuel, battery, charge, right panel. Right panel? So that's the left panel. It tends to be best in ships and stuff to do port starboard. But it says right panel, and it appears to be the left panel. So check that stuff. Just check it quickly because I want to get moving here. Hearing protection, okay, master power. I'm just going to get moving on this one because it's having issues and it can't back up. So they said it can't back up, so I have to be careful of that. All right, that's fine, master power here. Okay, master power right there. Okay, that's done. Nav lights on, flip switch right of the steering column upper. So nav lights right there. Okay, that's good. Start engine left, right. All right, I saw those. All right, those are up and running. Start the other engine, same place. Okay, yep. Let them both rise to 600 RPM. Okay, where is the RPM? Knots, vector. See, we're having issues. I'm getting close to the dock here. I don't see where the RPM is on this. I'm trying to do it quickly. Oh, there it is. Okay, so we're up. Pressurize the skirt, flip the switch, bottom right, lower, air to skirt. Okay. So it looks like we're doing all right here. I'm going to kick on. I'll wait till we clear the dock to kick on some wind because this particular vehicle I cannot reverse in. Startup complete. Okay, loading checklist. Loading can only occur on land. Again, it said in the instructions that I was going to load it via the editor, so it's already loaded. We're not going to bother with that. All right, so that's good. We're just going to end up doing an unload here. So I'm just waiting. So we'll kind of go to the outside view. It's definitely it's unique. I like that. But as you can imagine, being a little bit unique is not always the easiest thing, and that's a little bit of a risk, and it's cool to see, though. So we have steering's AD. I like to see that the pilot seat is filled out. WS throttle forward only. Space horn. 1 push to talk. All right, so that's pretty simple. Let's go ahead, and we're off the dock now. So I like the look of this. It's well designed. It's attractive, so some good detailing on that. I like the little guy with the headphones. It's just hard for me to kind of review the looks of this one because as you can see, it's splashing. The skirt design's really cool. I like that. Pretty neat there. I like the fans. So that's pretty cool. Let's go ahead, and we should be good to turn on the wind. So I'm going to go to 25% wind. That was in the rules. 25 right there. Okay. So I'm just going to go for a little ride here. So as it says, WS is throttle forward only. So really cool. This is a neat thing. You know, like it said in there, as you as you get moving, it's not going to do that splashing. You know, it doesn't like heavy waves. You know, again, it's using glitches to be able to float. So it's a very cool vehicle. You know, it's definitely a risk. You know, I like seeing these types of risks. You know, it could have been easy for them just to build another type of, boat landing craft that was easy, but they took some risk with this. So that's certainly considered in the cool factor of this. So, 25% wind's pretty light. You know, I don't intend for the wind to be too heavy on this. Moving pretty well here. You know, I've have W pressed all the way forward. It doesn't have to be super fast. Some people are concerned about going ultra fast. I have zero interest in speed. I just want the vehicle to be effective, so it's going well here. Nice design in there. I like that with that Squirtle. I don't necessarily know all my Pokemon, but I really like the design work on this. Is cool. There's the skirt design's good. You can see some little detailing there around the fan inlets. All right, so we're going to stop right here, and then they said to put the parking brake on, essentially. Shut off the skirts. Where's the skirts? Air to skirts. That was correct. Where's air to skirts? Right there. I can't see it. It's the lower one. Okay. All right, it fell back in the water. Let's see if I can get it back on land. All right, I want it kind of, the rest of them are boats, so it's not liking it. Maybe, you know what I didn't do? Did I power it up? No. All right, so this one's kind of going to be a special case here. It's not liking where it is. I'm going to leave it where it is. It's, loading ramp. Let's go ahead and put that down. All right, loading ramp is down. All right. So let's go ahead and try to get the door open. It does have a loading ramp, a loading checklist. I'm going to try to read it really quick. Try to do it quickly. Loading can only occur when the vehicle is on land. Loading checklist start. Pressurized skirt. Spotlight off. Lower ramp. Okay. Load vehicle by reversing. Okay, we're doing just the opposite of this. Engage parking brake. Okay, that's fine. Fold up ramp. Okay, check loading list. All right, so I'm just doing it in reverse here. I will go on land. Again, the intention was to load it with the vehicle in the water. But again, this special use case, I'll just go ahead and do it as they stated. I don't want to not follow their instructions. So we'll go on the land again. It's a little bit of a different use case than the other ones, but it is definitely cool. So we'll just go ahead and load it up on land here. All right, let's try to get the air of the skirt off. This is the last time I'm moving this to try to load it, so hopefully we're good. All right, let's go head to the back. All right, that's released, and then it's my own vehicle issues here with this. So if we have any sort of issue here, it's certainly not on this person. So, all right, let's go ahead. And where's my parking brake release? All right, let's unload. All right, perfect. So came off nicely, worked really well there. Let's go ahead and we'll take a little walk-a-rooney of the vehicle again. So really cool. These types of builds where somebody takes some risks, that is tough because the risks may not pay off. This worked really well. I did have to put it in the land. That's fine. It's not a big deal with that. It's not like it's cheating or anything compared to the other ones. But it's really well designed. I like the little detailing there. That's nice. The skirt design looks really nice. I like the little bit of detail there. That's really cool. I like the little dude with the hearing protection on. It definitely fulfilled the requirements of the challenge. I like that a lot. So it looks really cool. Definitely some risks here, and I like that. I like the checkerboarding on the decking here. It tells you where the front end needs to be, and it attached no problem. It was very intuitive for me to hook it up, no problems. So this was a really fun craft. I really enjoyed using it. So thank you for submitting, and we'll move on to the next one. And the next vehicle is the Flipper Steam-Powered Landing Craft. So I really like this. This is a good thumbnail here. A little bit of detailing on here, with the flipper on there. I like that. So it shows a little effort there. So some nice pictures here. It's always nice to have a nice workshop page. It draws people in, it makes it interesting. I rarely use other people's stuff unless I'm doing reviews. And so sometimes I like to go to the workshop and just kind of read through. And so it's nice to see a cool workshop page that's really engaging. So this is by Axel X. So the Steam Ship Flipper. GBO Shipyards are delighted to announce our first restoration project, the Steamer Landing Craft Flipper. With this project, we intended to restore the wonderful ship from 1900s to its original form and state. We did not add any new systems nor any new features, just good old steamer made the way they did back then. The Flipper is an 80-foot landing craft designed to transport a variety of freight to remote locations where a harbor was not present. During her career in the 1900s, she transported a large amount of cargo and vehicles to beaches, swamps, riverbanks. Now you have the pleasure to pilot and have a ride on this wonderful ship, alone or with a friend. Characteristics, dimensions, length is 24.25 meters, beam 6.25 meters, height from keel 11.5 meters, draft 2 meters, depth 3 meters, freeboard 1 meter at the lowest. Specifications, freshwater capacity 865 liters, coal capacity greater than 754, dual steam piston engine, single boiler, 22 knots max speed, 99,891. When Axel was working on this, I kept seeing, they were bumping up against the $100,000 price limit. That was, I put price limits on some of these. Again, that's another constriction, so you kind of have to work to. How to use. First, you need to have into consideration that there is no battery on the ship. Every electricity needs to be generated through the steam electric generator. You do not need electricity to move the ship, but it is advisable to always run the steam electric generator every time you have steam. Starting the boiler. So we'll go through this because I'm going to have to do it. So we have everything's labeled. I like to see this. I do this on some of my stuff, especially if you can have a complex startup procedure. I really like that. And it's great when you actually have a detailed diagram like this. So for example, you can reference 1A, 2A, all that. So that's really cool. Boiler, valves, and dials legend. I won't go through all this. I will go through it when I start it. There's more here. Electricity. So we have some cool stuff. This is the electrical generator previously mentioned. Checklist for that. I'll go through that when we get in. Main engine. Here's one of the mains. We'll go through that. Steam pump right there. Tips and tricks. Be careful when going down from the pilot house since it's very difficult to grab the ladder from the top. Use reversed space on the starboard side. When coming up from the engine room, use the handle on the top left side of the ladder. When approaching a landing location, use the slow speed on the telegraph to be sure you don't beat yourself. On long voyages, you can use Firebox temperature controller to fine-tune how much steam you produce and by itself how fast you can go and how much water and coal you use. Use the chart table in the helm house to plot your voyage and trough dead reckoning. Know where you are going, how much time it'll take to get there, all analog. Credits, analog plotting charts, nautical miles, customizable engine, order, telegraph, and thank you to the Foxtrot Challenge by Captain Cockrells, which is the reason the ship exists. Before I credit anyone, hesitate to let me know in the comments. So nice to see accreditation. So we'll go ahead and I'll go through the checklist as I start it up. All right, so here we are with the flipper. So let's go ahead and take a look. So I've already loaded the truck on there. I just roped it down. So, I love the devs to do a manual pass where we have some more manual stuff because, for example, this is supposed to be no electric period correct, and so it'd be awesome if the devs would make it. So we can do like hand crank pulleys. That way, people who like to build these old timey stuff can also enjoy that. So really cool detailing in here. I really like the, like here are some cleats. Have a lot of cool detailing. Some nice painting in here. Nice detailing on the ramp. I like how this is supposed to be a manual ramp. Very cool. It's sitting much nicer than the Hovercraft, but again, we expected the Hovercraft would be a little bit wobbly. So that's a coal bunker. That's cool to see. So you can refill your coal there. Nice detailing here. Nice paintwork. Winch there. Steam pumps there. Okay, cool. Some buttonage there. Let's go to the stern here. We have some sort of locker here. So, oh, that's interesting. Curious what that is. Wonder if it's supposed to be rudders. So that's kind of cool. But really nice detailing all around here. Very cool. So let's continue our walk around. I want to look at this one here. Okay, that's locked. That's fine. Maintenance hatch. So we have a head right here. So nice. I don't know what must be the flush. Very cool. So we have a mirror, little sink. So I always like to see how people do these little details like on their heads and stuff. So very cool. Let's go in here. So it looks like a galley. Very cool. Really cool detail in here. Nice work on the cabinetry. Much better than I usually do. Very nice intricate detail on that. I always like looking at these interiors. It gives me some inspiration for some of my stuff. So like a little bit of extra like cabinetry detail I think is something I'd like to add to my builds. Really nice work on the sink here. Again, like to see that type of how do you do your sinks. It gives me inspiration for my builds. Nice skylight, especially this was supposed to be 1900s. It gives it that kind of feel. Breaker there. Nice detail on the couch. Very cool. A little bit of artwork. We have one of the staterooms here. So bookshelf, clock. Very nice to see. Heater, so you don't freeze to death if you go up to the Arctique. Very cool. So some nice work here. Really, really nice detailing on this. Nice to see. So let's see. Is there anything else we want to look at? What's in here? Looks like some. This is where the engine stuff is in here. So pump pressures. Very cool. So let's go ahead and let's go up. So I talked about going down, up and down in the engine room. So there is the skylight. Very cool here. So some lighting. There's a horn stack. This is again supposed to be a 1900 steamer. Draw lines. So this is a cool map. I think this was in the credits. So that's very cool. Very cool. So this is period correct. I like to see that. That's very cool. So this is a really cool map. Radio there. Very cool. Clear log. Log position. So that's pretty neat. And clear the log. I won't go too much into this stuff. All right, very cool. Boiler pressure, engine RPS, general water level, backlights, heading hold, air horn. Very cool. Some flare guns, flashlights. They didn't have those in the 1900s. Yeah, it is a retrofit, so that's fun to see. Clock there, nice. So compass, very cool. So it has you know, some of the old time details. Telegraph, I like to see that. Rudder angle position knots. So we have a bunch of our lights here. So we want, let's see, upper red, mast, anchor light, tow light, stern white. Nice to see. So we need stern white on. So we need the middle upper white light mast, middle white light mast. We need a front white for nav. That's one of them. So good. They labeled all the ones for nav. So side nav lights. So that should be all. So we should have a stern white. We should have a middle front, and we should have the red green. So that's cool. So that good detailing on that to see all those. Nav lights breaker. Do I have let's turn on off the. I have infinite electricity on, so I need to shut that off. Okay, let's make sure that I didn't screw anything else up on that. Okay, good. We're good on that. All right, so that was a mistake on my part, so don't worry about that. I'll go ahead and I'll start reading this stuff. I kind of screwed up on that. To start boiler, proceed to do the checklist below. Firebox air valve open. So we'll go ahead. I'm using the workshop page, so I need to reference all that stuff. All right, so we're gonna have to go down to the engine room. I forget exactly where it said it was, but we'll figure it out here. We can't go in here. There is a way in. This is just valves. I need to find the right here. Okay, we're in here. Perfect. So that was my bad for not having the electricity shut off. All right, good. So we're down here now. So we're looking for the valves right here. So this is the main panel that we're looking at. So we're looking for 4B. 4B is firebox air valves. So we're going to open up 4B. So it's this one, firebox air valve. Good labeling on this. I like to see that. That makes my job so much easier to go in here and do it. Automatic temperature control system bypass valve open. That is right there. Okay. The main steam valve open. So let's, I'll check the diagram again. Main steam valve open. Main steam valve is 6B. 6B is over here, it looks like. Main steam valve is now opened. All right, so cool startup procedure so much. Weight, temperature raise, and pressure equal or above 0.5. So boiler temperature's coming up, firebox temp's coming up, boiler pressure we're waiting for above 0.5. Automatic temperature control system bypass valve closed. Right, wait till temperature raise and pressure is equal to 0.5. Okay. And then I want to close that automatic temperature control bypass closed. Okay, so now it's should be an automatic, I hope. Set desired temperature with firebox temperature controller. All right, we'll leave it where it is. All right, good. So that is done. To start the electrical generator, proceed to the checklist below. Boiler start checklist done. That's done. Boiler pressure is 0.5. It's greater than 0.5. Steam generator regulator valve open. So we want to go to the steam generator. Let's look at it first. So here's the steam generator. So pretty cool there. Oh, right here. There we go. I just missed it. Just the coloration was tough to see. All right, electrical breaker panel. Yellow breaker panel on the port side, all on. Okay. Okay, these are all on. Good. All right, that's good. We have storm S watts going up. As you can see, this is generated. So this is really cool. I like this. Startup system is a little bit complicated, but you'll, if you were doing it the second time, it would be very easy. Okay, do this, do that. Let it light up, let it go to over 0.5, shut this off, done. Come over here. You want to flip this valve, okay, you're up and running, you're done. So that's pretty good there. Check all those things. So that's good. It's not too laborious. It's just something you have to do there. So to start the main engine, proceed to do checklist below. Boiler start checklist done. Boiler pressure greater than 5. Again, we still are. Okay. Main engine, main steam valve open. So let's just look for it. Main. I'm just looking really quick here. All right, I'm going to look on the chart again for this. All right, so that should be right behind us. Nope, that's the regulator. I'm going to check the valves here, see if I can find if it's a manual valve. And then I looked at the diagram really quick, but I didn't see it. Auto engineer. Okay, we'll keep auto engineer on. I'm going to go, we'll consult the instructions again. All right, so I'm not seeing it on the regular diagram there. Hopefully we're good to go. I'm going to go upstairs. So it says for the engine, it says main engine, main steam valve open. I'm not sure if that is this over here or what. This is the main steam valve. I'm not sure if that's what it's talking about. Some detailing in here. I want to go through some of the details. So we have lights here, backlights on. Mineral hopper, this is cool. I really like it. Looks like the coal's falling out. That's some nice detailing there. We have a valve for some water. All that's on the diagram. I won't go into too much. Can't spend too much time on one build. But really cool detailing in here. I love the detail in here. Really very well done here. Hopefully we're good to go. I'm going to go up top. If I need to, I'll come do some more here. So let's go up the ladder here. All right. And we'll head on out. And we'll go up into the wheelhouse. As it says, number 6 is to go to the wheelhouse. All right, I've already done the lighting. That was a little preemptive on my part. We didn't have any electricity yet, but I forgot to shut off for electricity. All right, telegraph set half speed until it starts moving. All right, so hopefully we're good to go. Let's go ahead and turn on the wind. So we want 25% wind here. Okay, and so it says set half speed until you start moving. All right. I don't know if red's forward or reverse, so that might be reverse, so let's see. Whistle. Hopefully I started everything on the engine. I might have to go back down there if I didn't. I'm thinking red must be rearward. Let's go to half. Hopefully this is going to start spinning us. If not, I'll have to go back down. Let's go back down and see if I can't figure this out. That's one of the reasons I personally am not a huge Steam fan is, when I build stuff is just the time it takes to start it. But, I do enjoy it. It's really well done here. I'm looking to see if there's a valve I missed. Right here. Okay, so one thing with these valves is I understand the color scheme. It's an old-timey build. The issue is it's hard for me to see these handles. Like, when I stand right here, that completely blended in. I couldn't see it. It's a little gripe. Like, maybe do RGB of the handle color, like a small fraction different color, which just make it a tiny bit easier to see. But again, that was my issue, not seeing it. Your instructions are fine. It would be nice if that was maybe in the workshop page. But again, that was my issue, not knowing it. So we'll go ahead and steer here. Well, let's go ahead and look out. Again, no problem with 25% wind. That's pretty light. Going really well here. So it said for the unloading procedure that I wanted to go at, you know, slow. This slow speed right here to go ahead when we're doing that so we don't beach ourselves too hard. So we'll go ahead and do that as we get up there. But very well detailed in here. Great paintwork. Definitely looks old-timey. Nice old steam vessel. So I'm really digging this. All right, good. So we're headed towards that, you know, any frustration with my startup procedure. The workshop page was very well done. I would just like to see maybe that valve. I'm looking for it on there. I can't see it. Like you have your engine picture, maybe stick it on there. You know, just because of the coloration, it's hard to see those valves. But again, that's mostly my issue. All right, so we have a steam pump. I'm not sure what that's all about. It's a steam pump. Start the steam pump. Boiler start checklist. Proceed to steam pump room. Steam pump. Okay, it acts as a bilge pump. Okay, it's just, there's a lot here, so I really can't just, you know, I can't spend too much time on one build. I have to kind of move on. So we're pretty good here. We're up and running. It's, you know, that's all extra stuff. I, you know, recommend everybody go on the, you know, workshop and check it out. You know, you can do everything. I just can't do everything. You know, I have to move on with the challenge here. So let's go ahead and we'll go slow. I don't see a checklist for the ramp, but I should be able to figure it out. Hopefully, I can't imagine that is too crazy. But I really like the startup procedure. It was complicated. The instructions were good. You know, maybe a couple of the things could have had a little bit of a diagram maybe, but that could be me as well. So we're presently a little bit beached here. That's fine. It's not their fault, so we're good. I could probably back out, so we're gonna go all stop. You know, it's just where I chose to go on the beach, so that is my choice there. It's not their issue. So let's go. Ramps up, down. Pretty simple here. You shouldn't, you know, don't really need a checklist for this. You know, it works. So we're going to go ahead and we'll do a little bit of water here, but, you know, as long as the boat gets off, the truck gets off, it's fine. I just don't want to back out. All right, so there we go. Let's go ahead and unrope this here. So I just, plenty of cleats on here, and I just, you know, added some ropes in the editor to put them on there. You know, I just use the rope nodes. All right, so let's go ahead and we'll get started here. All right, and we'll take the park brake off. All right. All right, no problem there. So that came off, no problem. You know, of course, if I'd gone over there closer to the pier, I would have been able to get it closer. So that's certainly not an issue with the build. That was just, you know, my choice where I was steering. So very, very cool build. It was nice to see somebody do steam. You know, it's a lot more laborious. You know, so I get why a lot of people won't want to do it. It's nice to see it, you know, old-timey. That's really cool. Really cool startup procedure. The only thing I would add is maybe... so, for example, I'm reading the main engine start procedure here. If it says main engine main steam valve open, maybe just put in parentheses under that, you know, right next to the steam generator regulator valve. Those are just a little bit hard to see because they were the same color as the pipe. But again, that was my issue. So, you know, certainly nothing wrong with the build. But excellent build, and thank you for posting it. And the next build is the American FBAC LCT MK7. So I have a thumbnail here. Nice thumbnail. So they did some work on this thumbnail, put, you know, the model number on there and put a frame on it. So it's nice to see. Some good pictures on here. I like to see that on the workshop pages. Very cool. So some nice representative pictures of what it's going to look like. It's by Democloid. If I get your name wrong, you just put a comment in there so that I can pronounce it better next time if I get it wrong. So the FBAC, also known as Fast Beach Hovercraft, is a large, lightweight, well-protected tank landing craft. This was built for Captain Cocker's Landing Craft Challenge. Here's the challenge truck. Carry up to 2 M4 size weighted tanks or a plethora of infantry storm the enemy beaches. The craft can cruise speeds of 40 knots with full load. During windy conditions, it is advised to slow down, take your time. It is propelled by 2 water jets, which are powered by 2 medium-sized 1x1 modular engines. The price of this boat is just under 100,000 in-game currency and is refuelable. Craft only has 5 kilometers range in windy conditions and 10 kilometers in normal conditions, is loosely based off the real-life World War II LCT vehicles. The operation of this vehicle is quite simple. Nearly everything is labeled. Very nice. WS will move you forwards, S backwards. AD, be gentle, as this is very sharp turn radius. Up, down, this is your vertical trim. The more you pitch up, the more efficient the craft becomes. However, in windy conditions, it can lead to flipping if you turn too quickly while pitched up. Trigger. This will deploy the ramp for vehicles to be loaded or unloaded. One will activate the forward-facing fog lights. Behind the helm, there is a hatch to the engine bay. Engine bay provides easy access to all the logic to make repairing damage easy. There are 3 small bilge pumps to remove any fluids from the compartment. As of this moment, there are no active or passive stabilizers in the vehicle. This will lead to rocking as the cargo is disturbed or lists, maybe lists if there's uncentered heavy cargo. Do not panic. It shouldn't flip unless you put something too heavy too far over to one side. The craft can take some heavy loads with little effort to its performance. There are a lot of pivot in the craft, so there might be a slight bit of effect on performance. I hope you enjoy the FBAC. Also, credits to Malamar's amazing M4. That's the tank. Oh, I didn't make the engine microcontroller credits. I don't know the creator. I got it a long time ago. Could be Lazy Cats. Important, W will make you go forwards and S will make you go backwards. It's super simple to operate. When landing the craft, keep the ramp up and only deploy it once it stops moving. Okay, good to know. Be gentle when turning at speeds, especially in windy conditions. When pushing onto the beach, don't push yourself too far. It won't be able to get off. Be controlling of your speed. Don't run max RPS all the time. It will kill your fuel and engines. Super important to keep the ramp deployed for when you start to move back, but as you start to move, then lower the ramp. This makes it easy to back off the beach. Okay, so probably just holding the bow of the ship off the ground. May take a few seconds to start moving. There are 1 in 12 chance the boat will do a Stormworks and break the ramp in front body. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at it. All right, so here we are with the FBAC. So we can see where some of this money went for the expense. As you can see, it has an enormous amount of handles and rope anchors. So really cool detailing in this. I like all these paint blocks. You know, I was wondering how some of these people are getting close to 100,000. And this shows, this is how they get their costs up. So nice basic World War II look. I like that. You know, again, you know, World War II extensively used the landing craft. So that's really cool. Looks like sandbags up here to protect the driver. So we have some guns on there. Let's see, looks like a door latch there for the doors. I like a little bit of different color there. Makes it a little bit easier to find them. So down here we have our hand crank gen if bat is dead. We have our engines here, and we can go in there and work all of our panels as the workshop page said for repairs. So very cool. Ammo, wind is already on, so the it says it's very simple to operate here. You know, I'll go through this. It says everything's labeled, so we'll just go through main power. Everything also turns on cooling. Okay, H menu. Left, right, steer, WS forward, back, pitch, trim. We went over that. Space is up, down. Fog lights is 1. All right. The fuel pumps, engine 1 and 2. Okay. Monitor, display lights, main lights, engine room lights. Fuel pumps are on. Engine 1 starter. Engine 2 starter. Okay. Do I have to hold it? Okay. Is that not staying on? All right. So really, you should set it so that your throttle doesn't kill the engine. I shouldn't be able to pull this back and have the throttle kill the engine. So I would like to see that, just mechanically speaking. You know, you should make it so that whatever this is. So let's see. So let's see if I can't get this to sit. So whatever this is going to be, like say there, just make that the bottom limit of your throttle so that it doesn't kill the engine, because if I panic and pull the throttle back, it's going to kill my engine. So, all right, I just like to see that. You shouldn't be pulling a throttle back and have the engine killed generally. All right, speed, knots, water level. So pretty simple in here, so simple to safe. So let's go ahead and third person. Looks really cool. I like the detailing there. World War II, nice tires on there. We have a little lip on there, good detailing there. I'm not a huge fan of these two radiators sticking off the back there. I think you probably could have put a heat sink under here. But, you know, it's not bad by any stretch of the imagination. I like it. But definitely looks World War II. I like that. So let's go ahead. It's water jets. I don't use water jets very often, so just W here. And we're going to be a little bit careful with the steering. As you can see, it steers very fast, as stated in the directions. So operates well, has no issues. We're going to try to go right up here against the beach. So we're going to try to stick to this side. This is a little bit steeper here. Again, nobody's going to lose any credit if I do a poor job beaching, but all right there. Bingo, spacebar. Okay, good. Let's go ahead and storm the beaches. Storm the beaches, storm the beaches. Probably went on hook before. We'll go ahead. I have the tires gripped up on this, so as you can see, this truck is not going to go anywhere. I've tested it myself without putting any sort of attachment system on there, and it's fine because the tires are gripped up. So let's go ahead, and parking brake is released. Let's go ahead and we'll go in first gear and we'll drive off this sucker. So very much World War II, storming the beaches of Normandy. So very cool. So this worked really well. Very, very maneuverable. Super simple. Simple is safe. Didn't take as many risks as some with that, but again, that worked well. Nice to see water jets as a different propulsion method. No wonder it was so expensive, seeing all the nice detailing with these rope anchors, tons and tons of paint blocks that get the money up, and lots of handles. So very cool to see a World War II era vehicle. So thank you for posting it, and we'll move on to the next one. Right, and the next vehicle is the WaveLander. So have the old thumbnail here. Again, I would look up how to put in a custom thumbnail. This doesn't look super detailed like it is there, and it has the chevrons and stuff. It's nice to see you do a custom thumbnail. It's always nice to see on the workshop page. So some nice pictures on here. All right, this is by CG8379 Gaming. So the WaveLander is a landing craft built to transport 2 to 4 vehicles at a time, and will be able to transport extra cargo with 27 rope anchors for vehicles. Outside, it has plenty of space to anchor vehicles too. There is a large cargo bay at the back with access to the electrical panel to hold anything other than vehicles that need transporting. Starting procedure: head in the electrics room in the cargo bay, enable all breakers, leave the cargo bay and head up the stairs to the right. Turn on all the buttons on the roof of the wheelhouse, head down the ladder and open the hatch to the deck. Turn on the key buttons to the right, facing away from the ladder. Stats: powertrain X2 inline 6 diesel engines, 19.5 meter length, 6.25 meter beam, and height is 10.5. Links: Z module engine controller, nav lights controller. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the build. All right, so here we are with the WaveLander. So go ahead and jump on. So, looking at it initially from aesthetics, it is a little bit basic compared to some of the other ones. We had a lot of detailing on the other ones. This one's a little bit on the more basic side, so we'll take that into consideration. Has a WaveLander on there. A little bit of design works on there is nice to see. A little bit blocky and basic. But still a nice craft. We'll go ahead and test it out here. Let's look around some more. A little bit of, there's water on here. It'd be nice to see no water on there, because if I open this door, it's going to flood. So that's not something you want to see, is have it flooding right off the bat. What is this hole here? What is this all about? That's interesting. Okay, I don't know what this is all about. I can't get down there, so I don't know what that's all about. What are you supposed to go over here now? Okay, here's breakers. Let's go ahead and read the instructions. Head to the electrics room in the cargo bay. Enable all breakers. Okay. Okay, on. Okay, good. Enable all the breakers. Leave the cargo bay and head up the stairs to the right. Okay. I'm interested what that is. See, like, this is going to flood, so that's not a great idea to have that. So, yeah, that is, if you're going to have a big cargo door, if you're going to have another door here, I would recommend that you make sure it's above the water line, or you're going to flood it. So, like, see, I'm even scared to go in here because it's going to put any water in. So, that's you know, it's better if you're going to have a door like that, make sure it's above the water line so you're not leaking like so. All right, that goes out to the back there. All right, so go up here. Still want to take a look at it. So definitely I would be opening that door. All right, so it says head down the ladder and open the hatch on deck. Turn the key button to the right facing away from the ladder. Okay. That doesn't make any sense to me. Let's go back in there. I'm kind of confused by these instructions. So, all right. Electrical breakers. Enable all breakers. Leave the cargo bay and head up the stairs to the right. Okay, so that was correct, I guess. We'll head up there. So a little bit confusing, but not too bad. Okay. So turn the key buttons to the right, facing away from the ladder. Okay. Dude, I would highly recommend put some pictures, do some stuff like that, man. It's hard to know what you want here. So let's see what's in here. I'm going to try to fly around and find out how to get in this build here. Yeah, I'm kind of at a loss. So it could be this ladder here, but like this ladder, I can't get down this ladder here. So is this the ladder you're talking about? Because I can't get down there. Let's no clip in. Okay, what is this? We're not supposed to be in here, I don't think. So I don't know what the deal is with this. Got a ladder mostly blocked off. I don't know what the story is down here. You know, okay, so we'll hope you didn't want us to go in there. All right, I'm trying to find this key switch here. So it says leave the cargo bay and head up the stairs to the right. So leave the cargo bay, head up the stairs to the right. Okay. Head down the ladder and open the hatch on deck. Head down the ladder and open the hatch on deck. So I'm lost. I'm back in here. Okay. No clue really what we're doing here. Turn on the key buttons to the right, facing away from the ladder. Turn on the key button to the right, facing away. I'm very confused at what you are having me do. Like, you know, you're competing against the other people, and as you saw with some of the other builds, they had some very detailed instructions. They had pictures. You know, I'm already at kind of a loss here, so I'm looking for a key button here. Let's go ahead and fly around and try to find a key button here, and then I'll have to pull in the editor and find it. So, you know, it's again, part of the workshop page is getting me. Okay, this it here. Okay. So am I to go down underneath my truck? All right, if I open this door, it's going to flood. So that is not good. So if I open this door, it's going to flood. So I can't do that. So again, that's a design problem there if I can't go down here and get this to not flood. Engine 1 starter. Yeah, so this isn't a good... This is not good human factors. It just isn't. You know, I have to... Okay, what's... Okay, it's moving on its own. All right, so it's moving on its own. That's not great either. AD steering, WS throttle, up, down, clutch. I would like to see, you know, I have a lot of tutorials on how to do integrated clutch and throttle. We're going to hit here. I don't know what this throttle's doing here. WS. This is locked up. I don't know what this is doing here. All right. Turn on the key buttons to the right, facing away from the ladder. Have fun. Okay. Very, 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 very basic instructions here. I have really, like... Okay. So, all right. So the throttle is backwards to every throttle I've ever used in my life. Generally, what happens is... Okay, so I'm having to press the S key to go forward, which is, I would say, opposite to most. So I have to press the S key to go forward. I don't know what the up-down clutch is. It's like, it's automatically turning to the right. I don't know what that's all about. Like, I'm not steering to the right. It's doing it itself. And then I have to press W. So that's just pretty backwards compared to what most people use. Wow, what's going on here? I'm very confused. Okay. So, like, if I tap W, it goes all the way down. And then if I tap S, it goes all the way up. Wow, okay. So that's a little bit interesting. Okay. Oof. All right. So let's try to get this vehicle off. Because I have no clue how to put it in reverse either. So that's interesting. And this does not appear to be working. So I really don't know what I'm supposed to be doing here. Let's see what these buttons do. Raise anchor, drop anchor, mag-alls. I don't know if do these monitors come on. What's that? Reverse. Okay, there's reverse. Deck lights, monitors. Coolant pumps are separate from the engines. So deck lights, reverse. Let's try to reverse this sucker. Wow, dude. What is going on here? So it's... Okay, so those are on now. Nav lights. We'll turn the nav lights on. Okay. So nav should be, yep, stern light, white front, and we have red is on the left. That's fine. Okay. Stop. So it's backwards to me, which is completely freaking me out. And the propellers are... Okay. What is up with the other screw? I'm very confused here. Let's just put it that way. I'm very confused. I'm not sure what we're supposed to be doing here. So, all right, let's go ahead, and I'm going to try to beach this. Whoa. Okay. All right. So, you know, a little bit strange to me, but we'll figure it out here. All right. See, I can't use any finesse here to get this on the beach. I'm doing my best here. I'm hoping I can get this ramp down. So this does not appear to be hooked to electricity here. There's no instructions for how to lower the ramp. We just have the startup procedure. You know, I'm kind of at a loss here. So I would assume this does it, but again, I haven't been told what to do here. So that's not really good human factors. Let's take it back to the workbench. Let's see if this is actually hooked up to electricity. See what this is hooked up to. Okay, so this is our ramp. Are you hooked up to electricity? You're not. Okay, so our ramp's not hooked up to electricity. All right, so you know, there's some things to work on this. You know, it's a little bit on the basic side. You know, this is, I believe, CG is a new player, so, you know, I don't mean to rag on this. You know, that's not my intention. You know, I think CG is a new player, so some things that you could do on this, again, keep working. You know, the more you build, the better you'll get. All right, so, you know, some good work on this, good try on this. I would, you know, look at your peers in the challenge, see how they're doing their workshop pages. You know, this is how I would explain it. First of all, you know, I know you sent me a message. I told you to put it in the workshop page for where the vehicle needs to sit so you can go down the ladder. Again, it has to be in the workshop page. That's all I'm going to look at. I think that's what I answered to you, is I'm only going to look at the workshop page. I turned on both engines. It appeared that only one of them started. Let's see. Something is up. So only one of your engines started. I don't know what's up with that. It appeared one of the screws was turning. You know, the instructions weren't really all that clear. You know, the cargo bay floods, so if you're going to put it in a big cargo bay like this, I would make it so that it's above the water line. That way you're not flooding it, because if I open that door, it sunk. If I open this door and left this open, it sinks. I don't know if it has a pump out system. I don't know what's up with this ladder over here. This ladder is just kind of blocked out, and this is an area you don't want me to go in. If you don't want me to go in there, just close it up. Down here, you know, I had to go underneath my truck, so I had a no clip in there, so it wasn't really good human factors. This would have flooded. If I tried to go down there with this spawned in, it would have flooded and gone to the Davy Jones locker. This is not plugged into electricity, so the ramp really doesn't work. So go ahead and work on this and keep building. So it was a good entry, and we'll move on to the next one. And the next entry is the MS Holtlink small landing ferry / craft. So really nice thumbnail here. As you can see, this is what I like to see with the thumbnail. We have the name of the build here. It's all framed out nicely. It's very inviting, you know, because this is all you're going to see when it's on the workshop page is the thumbnail. So that's why I kind of stress thumbnail, is that's what you see. You don't, you know, there are a lot of really diamond in the rough that you don't get to see because, you know, the thumbnail's not great. And then you go in there, it's a great build, has great pictures, but the thumbnail's not great. So this is a really good thumbnail. I like that a lot. Some nice pictures in here, really shows off the build. Again, makes you want to download it and get invested in it. So nice variety of pictures from all the different things it can do. That's nice. This is from NeatNaut. So make sure we get that name right. MS Holtlink, so it's Stormlink compatible, which is nice to see. ILR compatible. Information specifications, etc. History, fictional, early years. The ship's type wasn't really a new thing. Ships like her were already being used from the 60s. This type of vessel was first created in the Sora Islands to connect up to the various beaches there. The ship wasn't ever anything special either. She was the third ship of this type of Soralink, first envisioned in 97. Her plans called for a small car ferry capable of carrying 2 to 3 smaller vehicles. Ship's keel was laid in September of 99, and her building was finished early April 2000. When she was launched from Olsen Bay docks, only 2 months later, the ship entered service at Soralink. Career. Vessel's career with Soralink wasn't much out of the ordinary, except for some incidents which these ships would get into quite often. See accidents and incidents. After 19 rather profitable years, the Soralink company, the ferry was sold to Olsen Enterprise in August of 2019. There, the ship didn't have the best career, suffering bad maintenance, and later seeing the company going bankrupt in 26. At this time, she was old and tired, and after 2 years of having no owners, the ship was sold to a company in Multiplayer Island. The ship served 3 more years until December of 2031, when she grounded near Olsen Bay, broke up, and was salvaged for scrap. Very sad to hear. There's the incidents, accidents. We won't go through there. Yep, I enjoyed the description. That's really cool. It's nice to have a story here. Again, it brings me in. Even, I often, like I said, I don't use other people's builds unless I'm doing reviews. And so this would make me interested to, read its story and get in there. And so I really like to see that. So really great workshop page there. Length 26 meters, 7.75 beam, weight 20,000 kilograms. Car capacity 2 to 3. Stormlink 36 on Stormlink. Top speed 15. Cost just under. Fuel 14,150 knot kilometer range. Feature, no ramp needed for loading cars. We need a ramp. We will be loading ours with that. High range, bow, and stern thrust dynamic damage system. Stormlink compatible. Decorated interior working ballast system. Known issues. Problem with wind is more than 70. We won't have to work through that. Throttle usually reacts above 70%. Okay. I'll go through that when we're actually doing it. I'm not going to. So here we are with the Holtlink ferry. So first of all, let's take a little look from the outside. So really great design on this. Really very unique. I like it a lot. So really great job on this. So you can see it looks like some rust there. Going along with the story, it was kind of left to be decrepit. It had some accidents. So we see some battle damage on there. It says Holtlink on there. Soralink line. Nice scuppers on there. You see it looks rusty. It looks old. It looks used. Holtlink, Holttown. Very cool. So some really nice detailing on this, and it goes well with the story. We'll go ahead and I'll unpause it here. No safety, smoking first. We like to see it, but there's a no smoking sign there, or maybe that's a no entry sign. So let's go ahead and we'll take a walk around. But from exterior is really well detailed. I like the deck in here. As you can see, we have a little bit of looks like dirt on there. Good color choices here. I like all the cautioning on there. Very nice work on the ramp. Ramp looks really cool. Let's go up here. So it looks like an area to go up for docking. A life ring there. Have some ropes there for all our roping needs. Very cool. So very well done here. I like these supports here. The ribbing for the side panels pump in and out, so that curious if that is for water pumping. Have fire extinguisher, some emergency supplies there. We'll go ahead and we'll open up the passenger compartment here. Little bar, nice to see the bar there. So we need to go up to the top first. Let's go up the top first to get some power, and then we can look at everything else. So, but very cool detailing here. So some more seating area. We have a little roped off section for us to go in. And so it says, go to Helm Bridge, turn on main breaker, electricity, turn on engine. So let's look for, so that's radio there. We have main breaker, engine, engage generator. Okay. And so we're up and powered. Let's go. We have some daylights and night lights. Very cool there. Let's go ahead and go down. I want to finish kind of looking at the in the section down here. All right, so now we have some power. So lights come on. Did those progressively come on? Yep, that's very cool. They dim and come bright. I really like that. That's a nice feature. Have a heater there. Everything's well put together in here. Bars nice there. Lights, they must be the same, so you can work from either one. It's a very cool, nice seating here. I really like the way the seats look. Seats came out really nicely. We have looks like storage there. We have some different items there that we might need in our travels. Fire extinguisher, we have a head in here. Again, always like to see these, so that's a nice work with cabinetry and sink and head. Auto lights when you come in. Lock so that nobody comes in and disturbs you while you're doing what you must. And then we have doors, port and starboard to go out the back. Nice shaping here, the hull, life rings, so really good detailing all around. So very cool detailing here. I want to go down. I like this little panel in the door. I was noticing that. That's kind of cool. Let's go down here. So here's our engine room. So nice engine room in here. So we have a light in here. Some more engine information there. Nice big 3x3. All right, let's see if I can get out of here. All right, so just a little jump so we can get in and out of there. All right, good. So let's go ahead up to the bridge. Falling off. Very dangerous. OSHA wouldn't be happy without any sort of railing there. All right, autopilot. We won't go into that. Autopilot. Transponder, bilge pumps, map. Let's turn that on. A little map there. Anchor mags, anchors, a little bit of a painting. So some nice detailing in here. Again, everything's well detailed. Deck lights, spotlights, nav lights, and so we can go ahead and we can do nav on there. And as you see, they come up and are shown on a Lua screen. Very cool there. Let's go to the helm here. We have speed knots. Artificial horizon is a little weird to me, but to each their own. Rudder, list angle, fuel percentage, battery. Okay. Disengage props, I'm not sure what that's all about. Disengage clutch for the props, that's interesting. Docking, landing, so it says try to get in place where the water is deepest, slope is the steepest, decrease throttle when getting close. When successful ramp looks to be possible, stop ship. Warning, throttle isn't very sensitive due to certain reasons. Be mindful when docking. Recommended drop anchor, okay. Go to the bow, find dark gray door with ramp controls, unlock ramp, use up down, part C, upper part B, middle part A, use magulls to connect ramp to ground, be free to change part B and C when the ramp is too steep for the vehicle. When done with this, press all reset buttons to bring the ramp back up. Okay, I'm not going to sink it. All right, so let's go ahead. I don't know about this. So it says 80 rudder, WS is throttle. Bow thrusters left, right, up, down. Stern thruster, space horn. Oh, very cool. Horn. Okay, so let's go left, right, and up, down. All right. So very responsive bow thruster and stern thruster. So I'm doing down and left, and that's thrusting us. Okay. Hopefully we can go forward here. Okay, good. So that must be just to neutral them out. So it's 25% wind. It's handling no problem. Really love the look of this one. Very good, very cool detail work in this one. I really like that. So let's check out our nav lights too. So we have red and left. We have the white forward, and we have green on the right. That's correct. And we have a stern white. Beautiful. All right, so I really like the way the windows look in this. You know, it feels like I'm in a vehicle. It's, I like these overheads. I really want to put in overheads in mine now after getting inspired by this. Painting there, what's it say? Note from the boss. Tell them you did the maintenance even though you didn't. That goes with the story. I like that. That's really cool. All right, so let's... It says the thrust is not all that sensitive, so we have to be careful. We have to go all the way up to like 70% to get moving, they said, so we're going to be careful here. All right. So I think we're there. We're going to disengage the props. I don't know if that's necessary, but... All right, so that's connected. Anchor is connected. All right, so I'm going to quickly just try to do this, from memory as much as I can. I have it up, but I'm going to try to do as much as I can from memory here. All right, so we're ready to unlock this. So it says come to this panel. All right, so anchor is down. Unlock the ramp. So unlock ramp. Unlock ramp. Okay, that's first. Up, down. Use up, down to raise and lower the ramp. Okay. All right, so that's the end. So let's put that all the way out. All right, I just want it vertical. We're not on that steep of a ramp. We'll do B. All right, that's probably good, and then we'll go down A. All right, good. And so let's go down all the way on A, and now let's start bringing down B. So pretty intuitive here. And so this really allows you to go over a bunch of different spaces. And then magalls, and that should attach at some point. All right, good. I just threw some ropes on here. We can get rid of the ropes. Didn't really need it. I have the tires gripped up on this. You don't really need to secure this vehicle. It will just stay secured. So, all right, good. All right, let's go ahead and we will unload. So it's a little bit narrow here, but really beautiful craft. I really love the design of this. The ramp's awesome. You can see we have a really nice long ramp. It's very configurable. This has been my favorite ramp so far. Each section is very configurable, so by bringing down the different areas, we can land on a bunch of different planes. But this is a really awesome ship. I really enjoyed it. Great detailing all throughout. Very cool. Thank you for submitting. And the next workshop page is the LCVT Landing Craft Vehicle Tank. All right, so really nice thumbnail again. You know, some effort went into this. I like to see that. It really draws you in, what makes you want to use it. So again, looks a little bit on the older styling. So that's very cool. Nice to see. Is that a Sherman? So definitely the World War II type of landing craft. Very cool. It's by Lemon Try. All right, Landing Craft Vehicle Tank. The Landing Craft Vehicle Tank, or LCVT for short, was developed in the early 40s to transport tanks, vehicles, or anything that could fit in for beachhead operations. Operating this vehicle is fairly simple, as everything is labeled. This was built for my Foxtrot. General characteristics dimension, 32.5 meters, beam 8.25, draft 2.5. Other propulsion, single 3x3. 22 knot top speed, 45 kilometer range, 4,000 kilogram capacity. Starter procedure. I'll go ahead and read that as we go. I'll go over that as we go. Stormworks, Sherman tank, and the modular engine controller are linked. So we'll go ahead and take a look at the build. All right, so let's take a look at this landing craft here. So again, as that World War II aesthetic, I really like that. So we have some rope anchors in the side doors there. That's pretty cool. Can walk on the side rails here. There's a little bit of path. That's interesting, doing a little ramp like that. That works well. I like that. That's kind of innovative and different than what we normally see. So very cool. So there's some flares there. We'll do ramp later. There we can go up the other side there. Looks like refueling there. I'll catch on that. Pretty basic coloring, but again, this is supposed to be a World War II vehicle. So like if we go out and we look out here, you know, it's on the basic side, but again, this was for, you know, the war effort. It didn't need to be flashy or have a lot of design. Maybe a little rust would be kind of cool to see on there. Again, you know, you're competing against some people who did some really great rust work in that. Please do not the landing craft. Okay. Diesel port. Let's go back here. A little bit of a wolf on there. It looks like a wolf. We'll go down there in a second here. Let's check the middle. Wowza. There's the top of the engine. I almost fell in. Have some repair torches there for repairs. LCVT 100. Nice to see some, you know, designation on there. Engines in here. Warning high voltage. A little bit of signage in there. A lot of batteries in here. Warning high voltage. Sounds like an AC/DC song. So a little bit basic in here, but it's nice. It's supposed to be a World War II vehicle. It's not, you know, flashy by any stretch of the imagination. It's back there. Some more repair torches. Somebody's anticipating a lot of damage here with all these repair torches. A little mast up here. Nice. So this definitely looks period correct with being, you know, World War II. Nav lights there, it looks like. Let's go ahead inside here. All right, so looking at the instructions here, instructions pretty simple. Make your way aft and enter the wheelhouse. We are there. Flip the two electricity breaker switches. So we're looking for those. Here we go. Main power, steering, and propulsion. Good. Turn the engine key. All right, so it's starting up. All right, so we have front. Okay, the engine doesn't really want to run, so that's, hopefully it will run when we give it a little throttle. Spots, nav lights, wheelhouse lights. So it'd be nice to see your idle so that the engine doesn't want to kill itself. So as you can see, the most likely the p-value is not high enough if the engine is trying to just die all the time. Either that, it's probably the p-value or your throttle. Your idle is set too low. Let's put it that way. Your idle is set too low. So it's nice to see your idle set correctly so it doesn't just try to kill your engine and me have to talk over that. Gauge backlight. Okay. Go to the helm and give it some throttle. All right. It does say that on the instructions. All right. So that's fine. I didn't get to that instruction yet. So it says turn engine key. Generally, like when you're doing a proper startup procedure, you want to say, you give it some throttle first, but that's fine. It's supposed to be World War II. That could be part of the whole gimmick, is that the throttle will kill, if you go to zero throttle, it will kill it. See, you really don't want it to die, though, if you don't do this. So I would just personally set your RPS so the bottom of your throttle should be where the engine stays lit, frankly. That tends to be how you'd want to do it. Like, if this was happening and you rode up to a mechanic, hey, engine keeps dying, you know what they would do? They'd adjust the throttle. So like right there at a 0.14 minimum throttle, as you can see, we're getting that. So I think some people do it because they, as you see, we're already moving. So personally, I would fix that. But give it some throttle. Let's see, wait for the engine to crank over. That's it. Okay. So beachhead landing procedure, get near the beach. Obviously, wait until you're about half a ship length away from the shore and then throttle down. Gently set the ship on the beach. Immediately turn off the engine, lower the ramp from the wheelhouse, or press the button in the bow of the ship, port side. You're all set. Storm those beaches. All right, so let's go ahead and get going here. So gauge backlight. So where is the reverse on this? So let's go up, bring up the H menu. So I have AD, WS, lower ramp, 2 reverse, and 4 is horn. All right, let's go ahead, and I'm just going to kill the spots for the day here. We'll leave nav lights on. So it's handling pretty well. It's a little bit sluggish on steering. I am at full deflection here, and it's a little bit slow to steer. Not bad, but again, World War II, they were pretty much going straight across the channel, to go straight in there. So don't really have to worry about it too much. So just starting to turn now. I reduced the speed a little bit, so that's helping with our turn a little bit. So really cool vehicle. It's supposed to be World War II, so it's kind of basic. It's a military vehicle, but it's a little bit bland on some of the coloring compared to the other ones. So that's, again, you're competing against your fellow competitors. So that's all taken into consideration on the aesthetics front. Is it's not how does your vehicle by itself look good. It's does your vehicle compared to your competition, how's it look? So a little bit on the basic side compared to that. Start slowing down here a little bit. All right, I think we're there. Let me look in third person. Yep, we're good. Okay, so it says shut the engine off, so I'll do as I'm told. All right, we're going to go immediately turn off engine. It says either lower the ramp from the wheelhouse or press the button in the bow of the ship port side. Okay. Now we're ready to storm some beaches here, so I'll just throw these out. And jump in the truck. All right. And let's go ahead, go in third person for this. So nice and piece of cake. So really cool landing craft. I like the World War II aesthetic. Really well done. It's a little bit on the bland side decoration-wise, but again, it is a World War II craft, and so that's kind of to be expected. I like how the ramp is self-floating. That's kind of neat. So really cool craft. I would just like to see that the engine should probably idle. If I put it up to that RPS limiter that you had me do for the start, you told me I have to increase the throttle. It was already clutching in the engine. I'd like to see that engine just be able to idle on its own, and then, when you start to give it some throttle, it starts to clutch in the propeller. But cool vehicle, and I really like checking it out. Thanks. And the next build is the Axolotl landing craft. So again, pretty basic thumbnail. Again, this is going to be people's first ability to view your craft, so highly recommend you doing that. Just the one picture there, so I'd like to see some more pictures. Again, you're competing against the other people who are doing builds. they put in a lot of pictures and a thumbnail. That's who you're competing against. So this is by Blaze Beat. So this is a landing craft inspired by the Axolotl. It is very simple and has but one purpose: to transport small land vehicles across the water. It is very affordable and easy to use. It was built for the challenge by me. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the vehicle. All right, so here we are with the Axolotl. There's no way to tie down the vehicle, so we're just going to let it sit there. It should be fine. The tires have a lot of grip. So, compared to the other vehicles, it's a little bit on the basic design. Let's go ahead and we'll kind of look at the exterior of it. Pretty basic. It's a little bit unusual. It's supposed to look like an axolotl, so it kind of has that animalistic look. It has some front feet on it, so that's definitely interesting. A little bit on the cartoony aesthetic, but that's that's a fine design choice there. It's going to be interesting that I'm going to have to back into the beach, so that's a choice. So we'll see how that works with human factors. Workshop page was very, very, very basic. So pretty much the only instruction I have is it is very simple and has but one purpose. Okay, so we'll see if I can figure this out. See how challenging it is. So nav light's coming on. It is currently turning on its own, which is probably because the vehicle is on there and leaning it to one side. Spotlights. Okay, bat over fuel, engine RPS, engine temp. We have ramp camera. Okay, autopilot, reverse, ramp lights. All right, ramp. Autopilot, okay, waypoint distance, let's crank it. All right, check the H menu. There is no H menu, so I like to see some H menu, so. All right, let's hope that that vehicle doesn't fall off the back. All right, let's see, so I'm gonna shut off spotlights. Let's take a look at it outside, so have some nav lights on there. So I have to reverse onto the beach, so let's hopefully we can do that without any problem. A little bit different that we're going to have to reverse. Human factor is a little bit tougher. The other ones I could drive right on there. Some of the World War II landing craft that we've been using there, that would have been devastating if this was a design for, wartime when you had to turn around and back in, but... All right, so it's not labeled. Again, your H menu is not labeled. Your workshop page is very bare. The WS is working that throttle, but frankly, who would know because it's not really labeled. All right, so let's go reverse. Wait for the engine to restart. All right, so we're gonna see not too bad with the camera. It's handling fine. No problem. The truck is not tied down at all. So, as you can see, it's handling fine. A little bit jumpy on throttle, but not too bad. Okay, we've hit. Good. Let's go and do ramp. All right. Let's go ahead and try to unload. So I have to back off. What's going on here? Okay, we're good. All right, I have to try to back off, so that's going to be interesting. All right. All right. So a little bit of an unconventional design and an unconventional unloading and loading procedure, but it worked. As you can see, the vehicle comes off. So thank you for submitting, and we'll move on to the next one. Right, so the next craft is the D-L2 modern landing craft. So we've seen some really cool vintage stuff, and it's cool to see some modern stuff too. So that has a previous entry for one of the build challenges, the Corvette on there. So really like this thumbnail. Again, this is what you're going to see in the workshop. This is what's going to make people want to click on your build. So D-L2 modern landing craft, simple to use. Very cool. Some nice pictures here. I see your speedboats on there. I did give that a drive at one point. Very cool, very cool. So some nice pictures on there by Mr. G. D-L2 Modern Landing Craft. This is a modern landing craft I made for Captain's Foxtrot Challenge. It is very simple to use and can carry weight fairly well for its small catamaran design. Its overall structure is based on modern catamaran ferry designs often found around the English Channel with sleek pilot house housing an efficient engine built for long-term reliability. Although I normally build from a real reference, this was built from my own creativity. Hypothetically built in the last 5 years, this boat would be seen in less populated areas carrying vehicles to places without the typical ferry dock, such as private islands and separated coastlines where the infrastructure is less developed. Passengers will load the vehicles on the front ramp and stay in the vehicles. The seats in the pilot house are intended for staff. The arch structure allows for more cargo on the whole length of the boat. 2 diesel 12 cylinders have hatches right on top for easy engine replacement when the hours reach a certain time, and there are 3 life rafts on the rear for extra measure of safety if something were to go wrong. So I like to see a GIF that some more extra effort on there. I like to see that. That's cool. Procedures, we'll go ahead and we'll go through there as we're using it. So here we have some specifications. We won't go through all that. It's a paltry sum compared to some of the other ones, about less than 50, where some of them other ones were up around 100. Some notes and warnings. Fuel/electrical anchors are located near the center edges of the vehicle platform. The bilge pumps are automatic. I would not recommend more than 3 normal cars, like my truck. If stuck on the pilot house door when beached, simply crouch. Do not open engine hatches when beached. They may fill with water. Makes sense. The front goes up, back goes down. And microcontrollers are by Mr. G. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the build. All right, so here we are with the modern landing crafts. Let's go ahead and jump on. I really love the design work on this. It definitely looks modern. It's nice to see the difference, between some of the World War II era stuff and the modern. I'm not even bothering roping this down for a lot of the, this is sitting fine. Nice deck work design here. We have some a little bit of paint work there, some tracks. It's very attractive, this. I really like the design of it. Cool work there with the different coloring. That adds a lot of depth to it. I like that. That looks really good. Really like this design, the ability to fill all the way to the back. There are your life rafts, as stated in the diagram there. So these are the doors you don't want to open when you're there. As you can see, they will prevent themselves from being opened. They're the engine hatches when the water goes over the deck. So that's nice to see. A lot of equipment on here. That's cool. Let's go head up to the bridge. I like this arch bridge design. Looks like a docking station here with a compass. Very cool. There's the entry door. I like that. Custom door is nice to see. So here is some crew seating, as people are intended to sit in their seats, as the story told us. All right, enter helm house. Turn on master power on the rear of the throttle console. Okay, right there. Start engines in quick sequence. So let's go ahead, and I assume we intended to sit here. Let's check passenger seat, driver seat. Perfect. Easy, easy. H menu, WS throttle, left, right, bow, thruster, space horn. 1 is reverse. All right, turn on engines in quick succession. All right, nav lights is top left switch on the dash. Okay, top left. Again, this is directing me right to the switch. It makes it very easy for me to find stuff. I like that a lot. WS throttle, AD is steering, seat key, hotkey 1 is reverse, LR is bow thruster. For landing, throttle the boat enough on the land so the props are still enough in the water so it can reverse. If you've gone too far, if the tower area is beached, set throttles to 0, lower the ramp through the helm on the dash, okay? Or the bow next to ramp. So a lot of these have been giving me that option. I really like that option. For example, if you're doing multiplayer, you could be operating the ship and the person could drive right off. So I really like that. That is cool. A bunch of builds have been doing that. Tap the up-down arrows to make sure it connects to the beach but does not raise the boat too much. Load, unload. The reset button brings ramp up to the close position. So very good. Let's go ahead and look at some other stuff here. Platform lights. Pilot house mounted spots. Okay, great. So it's good for night work. Some spots there. White interiors. Night interior lights. Very cool. Left and right fuel tanks. RPSs. Speed. Reset ramp. Here's our ramp stuff. Throttle. Very simple. So we can do throttle WS. Let's go ahead and do left right for the bow thruster. So you can see we have bow thruster indication right there. There's our mooring light. Okay, very cool. So let's go ahead and go forward. I really like the modern design on this one. It's very attractive. We have L2 on the side there. Again, lots of this really good pixelation detail. That gives it a lot of depth. I like that. I need to get better at that myself. So you know, looking at stuff like this gives me some inspiration to try some stuff. I really like the skylights on there. It really moves like a dream. It has Azapod steering. It is very, very easy to control and handles beautifully. I really love the handling of this. It makes it very pleasurable to operate. So we'll go from first person, as is my way. It's a very fun vehicle to use. I really like it. It feels open and airy and modern in here. You know, again, I like the World War II stuff, that they look like World War II. This is supposed to be modern, and it feels modern. All right. So I want to make sure I don't go too far on the beach, as I was scolded to not do. I think we're good here. We hope we're good here. Let's lower the ramp from here. Okay. You know, I might have screwed up a little bit raising it too high, but I think we'll be fine. So let's see, how does one get out of this place? So he did even say in the instructions I may have to duck. So this says no ropes on this. You know, with the grip tires, this doesn't need ropes. But put it in gear here. All right, and we'll just go ahead and drive right off. So no problem. Very cool vehicle. I really like the design. The ramp is different. As you can see, it goes way down. I really like the modern design of this. This is something different. You know, I really like it. It's different. You know, that's what I can say with it, and I like it. It took some chances here. I think it's really cool. You didn't have to use any reference material. This all came from your own ingenuity. I really like the pixelation and the coloring on this. Really, it's very, very cool vehicle, and I enjoyed using it. Thanks for submitting. And moving on to the next build, we have the CCC 12-meter multi-purpose landing craft. So nice picture here. So some, again, nice thumbnail, draws people in. You know, has the branding on there, no frame. I like that. Some good pictures on here. Outboard, that is, you know, that's a risk, of course, because, you know, the outboards, you have to do a little bit of extra work to get the handle well, so I like to see people taking some risks. Unfold ramp, raise and lower. I like to see a diagram like this. It makes it easy for me to find it. You know, either like how Mr. G did, where he told me it's, you know, the top left of the panel, or something like this that, you know, Axel X used, or Citrus in this case. It makes it really easy for me to find something. I like that. An operator should not, you know, have to guess what to do next. They should be told by the engineers who made it. And so this is really cool to see. I like that. Handout. All right, very cool. So let's go ahead. This is by Citrus. Triple C 12-meter multi-purpose landing craft. This is a landing craft I built for the challenge. It is able to carry one of my trucks. Sold separately, of course it is. Based off a real-life vehicle, a 14.4 aluminum multi-purpose landing craft. Landif craft, typo there. It's not a one-to-one, but built instead. I just build off of it, so it's an inspiration. Some specifications there. Nice, cheap price compared to some of them. We'll go through this stuff in there. Special notes for me. You want to spawn the pickup so the wheels align with the magulls, not the front magulls. It's supposed to spawn with the front of the car facing the stern of the boat. So you have to reverse out. Okay. When you spawn the vehicle, you want to head to the deck management hatch and open it up. You should now see different panels. Okay. You want to flip the circuit breaker, then raise the hook until the lights turn on. When you're later are going to unload it, if you need to first release the hook connector by pressing the release hook button, lower the hook, have the release during. Okay, so I might not even bother trying to hook it and just stick it on there, because the wheels are good enough. We're not going far. You know, if you're going far in these vehicles, it's very good that you have all this attachment stuff. That way, you know, if you were going to go from, say, the arid biome up to the Sawyer Islands, you'd probably want to attach it, but I'm going a short distance, so I may not even attach it. Here's the credits, nice to see, and asking for credit if you use theirs. So let's go ahead and look at the build. All right, so here we are. Let's go ahead and jump on. So hopefully I loaded this right. I tried to follow the instructions best as possible. So let's go ahead, and it says, first open the hatch at the stern of the boat and flip the fuel pump switch. Okay. Hatch. Oh, I'm in the drink. In the drink. Whoa, and I'm in space. Soon to be Space DLC. Alright, let's see if I can't get up on this without going to space. That's certainly not a Citrus issue. That is a game issue. So, fuel pump is on. Okay, good. I like these cool little procedures. Like, you'd have that in some outboards, you know, fuel valves and whatnot's there. Oh, little bit of XML shimmer there. Let's see. Okay, then go to the driver's seat and turn the key. The engine should start. Is there confidence or lack of confidence? Turn the key. All right, good. Lastly, use WS for throttle. When the throttle is set below negative 0.05, reverse engages. I like to see that. I'm not a huge fan of having a reverse button. IRL, you'd move the throttle all the way back and it would go in reverse. I tend to like that, but that's preference. Landing procedure. Approach throttle is 40. I'll come in how I'm coming in. As sooner a bit above the bow touches beach, you want to cut power. Okay, so I'll beach it. I've been doing fine so far. Make sure you don't accidentally do it reverse. When beached, first unfold the ramp, then lower the ramp until it's intact with the beach. Okay, good. So, I think I've got alignment pretty good. It's a little bit swamped, but, you know, it's fine. It's not a big deal. You know, it's designed the way it's designed. It's fine. Raise ramp, lower ramp, battery, knots, kilometers. Nav lights coming on, deck lights coming on. I'll shut those back off just so they don't shimmer. Compass ball, throttle. It's spelled right. I'm just saying throttle. Heater and cabin lights. Cabin lights are nice seat work in here. Really nice XMLing on the seats. I like the way they look. That's cool. All right, we're in reverse. So we have triple 250s. I like seeing these outboards. That's a cool feature. Going forward. All right, very cool. So I didn't bother tying it down. I don't know if the magholes have grabbed or not, but I don't need it, I don't think. I'm going a short distance. Really, it handles well with the outboards. You know, it's a little bit rocky, but that's not the end of the world. It handles really well for outboards. Outboards are a challenge to get to work right. Outboards, you know, they look really good. You know, and that's tough to do, you know, with how much space we need for outboards. It's handling really well with outboards. Again, that's something that, you know, you get some credit for doing that. So, again, I'm a professional here, no problem. We'll go ahead and lower the ramp. Did I lower the ramp correctly? I did not. I did not unfold it. So let me unfold it. There we go. Okay, ramp's unfolded now. All right, I'm gonna just go up a little bit. Hopefully the truck should be able to get off. That's how I beached it problem. That's certainly, if I have any struggle getting off, that's not Citrus's issue. That's how I beached it. So, turn in here. Let's hopefully, I'm trying to get off quick because that was how I beached it. That's not a problem with the build. That's just how I beached it. So hopefully I can get off here without problem. All right, so I'm not going to blame Citrus for that. That was how I beached it. This is fine. It's just the way I beached it was not ideal, and instead of, you know, what I should have done is backed out. It works fine. There's no problem with that. It was just a me problem, so certainly not Citrus's fault for the way that I operated it. So he told me how to operate it, and I was a little bit careless with it. So works really well. You know, I like the outboards a lot. Really good. Looks really nice. Please smoke. I like that. That's nice to see. I didn't check that out before. So let's take a look at some of the aesthetics on here. I didn't really go over the aesthetics too much because I wanted to get it moving. So here's the... oh, good lord, man. That's dangerous. OSHA would like to speak with you, Citrus. Nice deck work here. Really good detailing here. I like the detailing a lot here. We have a couple panels here. Looks like breaker panels, deck systems panels, magholes. Okay, so that's for operation. I didn't even bother. I didn't even bother connecting it. But, you know, this seemed to work without the battery breakers on. I have infinite electricity off, so it seemed to work fine. That could be for ground power. But, so please smoke. I like to see that. So really nice design work here. As you see, a little bit of decoration and some differentiation on the colors here to create some shadow. So really good work on this one. I appreciate it, and it's a little on the small side, which was a risk. You know, you build a big landing craft, it's much easier to handle the weight. So this was a risk for being small size. So, you know, you're not going to lose any points for being a little swamp with water because, again, this was designed to be small, and it worked well. So thanks for a minute, and we'll move on to the next one. And the next build here is the Frog Industries Coastal Lander L1-A. So we have a thumbnail here, so there's a price. Nice thumbnail, some good work on that. Some good pictures here. Like to see some pictures by Sergeant Cheesecake. The Coastal Lander L1-A. Note this craft was built for my challenge. Background. Bernoulli Novi, an aviation logistics and slash arms corporation, was in need for a light and simple vessel to transport small cargo. They turned to the local industries conglomerate Frog Industries to see this need fulfilled. A small waterjet-driven craft was provided, and after testing, Bernoulli Novi was satisfied with the early results and invested in its development. The Coastal Lander L1-A was, as per the request of Bernoulli Novi, equipped with a small personal defense gun mounted in the crow's nest. The lander has sufficient handling capabilities from its 2 water jets that maneuvering in and out of the harbors and to coastal landing sites was no issue. Description: the L1-A is a small dual waterjet-driven landing craft capable of fitting an ISO container as cargo. That's cool. However, this is not advised due to excessive weight. The vessel comes in at a cost of just over 37 thou. Note: Frog Industries assures that no cost-saving corners were cut. Interesting. We'll go ahead and do the instructions when we get there. Credits: Lorg's waterjet controller and Urinwind Z modular engine controller. So let's go ahead and take a look at the build. All right, so let's take a look at the vehicle here. So checkerboard design. I really like the ramp on this one. The ramp's cool here. So we have a see-through ramp. That's a neat look to it. I really like the ramp. You know, floor is a little bit basic. It has some checkerboard pattern on it, but a little bit basic, not too bad. I really like that ramp design, though. That's super cool. All right, let's go ahead back here, and I will go ahead and I'll start to read some of the instructions. So, seat controls. Let's go in here. So here is that crow's nest gun. As you can see, we're not going to fire guns in here. Let's go ahead and jump in the seat. So WS forward, back, AD, steering, up, down, raise, lower the seat. Okay. Whoa. Okay. I like this. This is a neat feature. That's cool. Let's see what we have in here. So interior lights, deck lights, spotlights, navs. Okay. Please take care when going in reverse to not turn over when steering. Don't snap going from reverse to forward. Okay. Reminder: if the added weight of cargo makes it hard to break free from the landing zone, use second or third gear. Ooh, gears on a boat. I'm not a huge fan of gears on a boat. Winches. Ramp. Okay. Engine RPSs, temps, knots. Fuel, battery, activate. Okay. Clutch, throttle. Not a huge fan of that. Steering AD, forward, back. Okay. So WS forward backwards. Okay, so I have to set this myself. That's weird. You know, I like to see a throttle that does it for you, but I don't know, man. That's a little bit weird to me. Kind of stuck on the wall here. That's not your fault. That's just me launching it. That's a little bit weird for me, but it's water jets, so that's kind of to be expected. But you know, auto clutching the throttle would be kind of nice to see. A little bit wallowy in its handling. It's not too bad, but let's go up in the seat. I like that. That's funny. You even have a little view there as we go through. But this is kind of an interesting little feature. Have a little bit of a crow's nest there to be looking out. So that's kind of neat. All right, so as we arrive here, so ramp controls. Ramp can be operated from both the cabin and the deck. Okay. So it says 2 panels control the ramp's extension reaction. Note: the winch holding the outer section ramp might need to give out more rope. The ramp will not fold out, or the ramp will not fold out correctly. Okay. All right, so there we're hitting. Let's go ahead and let's see if I can't get this. I'm gonna do the ramp from the deck here. Retract. Okay. Lift inner ramp. Extend outer ramp. Okay. So that's coming out. All right, we're turning here. Hopefully I can get this done quickly. We're turning. Crap, crap, crap. Okay, I gotta go back and try to fix this. Okay, woof. Okie doke. We're kind of screwed up here. There we go. All right, water jets are not my favorite, just because they're a little bit wonky. Okay, they're wonky, weird water jets. Okay, there we are. Stay stationary, please, so I can get the truck off. Okay. There we go. All right, so ramp is down. There we go. Parking brake, if I can see my own parking brake. There we go. All right. So here we go, and unloading. So unloads nicely. I'm really digging that ramp design. That ramp design is really cool to me. So very cool vehicle. You know, water jets are a little bit hokey sometimes, but you know, really cool vehicle. And thank you for sharing. And moving on to the next build. This is the Fast FlatLiner landing craft. So the FFLLC. So I really like the thumbnail on this. I like the design of that. That's really cool. Good looking thumbnail there. So we have some nice pictures on here, which kind of shows the build off. I like to see that. Ooh, a tank, and we have a trailer on there. Very cool, very cool. So this is by Phil. How's it going, Phil? The FFL is a light civilian landing craft with a shallow draft hull design. It is configured for a coastal environment up to 30% wind with a high mobility and simple controls. There are ample rope anchor points and 4 fastening winches on deck. Passengers have a safe space behind the railing in case of the cargo shifts. All but winch controls are in the reach of the helm. Controls that need over-labeled information systems. Key toggles the majority of the boat. All electric but ramps and winches. Throttle, cut safety. Flip switch puts engine idle if no player is present in the bridge. Toggle searchlight. Helm button 4 turns on a searchlight on the roof with mouse aim. That's cool to see. Ramp up. Arrow buttons can be double tapped to automatically fully close to ramp. Interrupted by another input. We have some good stats here. This one's supposed to be fast. And so we have all that information. The boat can handle up to 1,000 pat mass cargo. For other types, up to 9,000 mass. Best to put it in the rear. You can toggle reverse while moving without stalling the engine. It is recommended to slow down before to avoid sudden shock that can destabilize the vessel. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look. So we're on board. So a little bit, you know, I probably use a little bit more deck design on here, you know, kind of compared to some of the other builds. You know, again, you're compared to all your other competitors. I like, you know, some of their decking a little bit. There's a little bit on the basic side, but it's still very nicely put together. It looks nice. But maybe a little bit more deck coloration or something would be kind of cool. But other than that, it looks really cool so far. Winch in and out there, so some nice detailing there. I don't know how I feel about this gyro on there, but it's a nice detail. It adds a little bit of detail to there, so it's a cool detailing choice. Let's go ahead and jump up here and go in the bridge. All right, so pretty basic instruction says all but winch controls are in the reach of the helm. So we'll just kind of come up here. Let's go look in the engine room. So kind of a basic engine room in here. It's not too bad, but it's, you know, pretty basic. And, you know, as you can imagine, a lot of boats, if it's just an engine hatch, they're not decorating down there. So it's not a big deal to not decorate in there. There's the player sensor fluid meter. Must be part of the bilge system. It looks like, you know, it's been used for detailing. All right, so let's jump on the helm. AD steering, WS throttle. Up, down is ramp control, space horn. Reverse 1, toggle searchlight, front spotlights, and deck lights. All right, so we have throttle cut safety systems. Let's turn those on. So we have a map. That's the throttle cut ship lights. All right, fluid level, engine RPS, bilge pump reverse, and engine temp warning. A little bit of an XML 45 there is kind of cool. Throttle. Throttle is WS, so as you can see, we are controlling it there. Decorative keypad. Okay, good. So that's for decoration. Bunch of supplies here and a heater. All right, so let's see. AD steering, WS throttle, up, down, ramp, horn, reverse, toggle, spotlight. So if the spotlight is searchable, I like that. I wish the sound was a little bit better, but that's a game issue, certainly not a Phil issue. But that's very cool. I like that feature. It's nice to have a searchlight that moves with the seat look. So that's a cool feature, and I like to see that. Front spots 5, 6 is deck. Oh my God. I may never see again. All right, let's go ahead and push forward. So this one has demon speed, which I'm not going to test more than that. I won't go more than that. It is very hyper maneuverable. Yeah, it has azipods in there. I'll be careful with this. It's a little bit touchy, you know. It's fine to have it go insane speeds. The issue is just, is it controllable? And it feels controllable. Like, I'm just tapping it now. So instead of holding down the throttle, I'm just tapping. So it's controllable. I have no problem with it. You know, I can easily control it. You know, I just have to tap it. I can't hold it for too long because it will quickly adjust. So, you know, that's because it has such a long, wide speed range. That's probably why. But I'm having no problem coming in here to dock or to land. All right, we'll zero, and I'll go ahead and jump out. Ramp. It told me the only controls that weren't on the bridge were the ramp controls. All right, good. So that's down. I stuck this truck on the center of gravity, and it behaved itself fine. It had no issues. Wasn't swamped. All right. So I like the coloration on this. It kind of has that modern, you know, that modern design of how they do some of the boats, where they have like the gradient, the color gradient on there. So I like the color gradient. It's a little bit basic on shape. It's very square. You know, some of the other ones had some really intricate deck detailing on there, but it's a really cool boat. It looks very nice. It operates well. You know, the fast speed was just caught me by surprise. You know, I knew it was going to go 55, but the throttle was a little sensitive. But once I got a hang of it, it was no problem to control. So, controls really well with the Azapods. Excellent vehicle, and thank you for sharing it. And the next craft is the SLC Bolla 1916. So we have an older one. Nice thumbnail again. Really nice work on that with some branding on there. So very cool here. So it definitely looks old-timey. I like that. Very cool, very cool. Some nice pictures here. Really nice, well composited pictures. Very nice. By Mountain View. Like if you like, dislike if you dislike. Intro. World War I has surged forth and with full force, demanding the seamless transportation of troops and equipment. There is no need for apprehension, as the SLC Bolla stands prepared for duty, regardless of the cargo in question. Originally a steam tug, ingeniously transformed into a landing craft. It may not boast the highest speed or the utmost safety. Admittedly, in the broad scope of things, it might have been deemed less than optimal, but hey, it's not dwell on that. It gets the job done. SLC Bolla is a steam landing craft that was made for my challenge to haul the truck. So here we have specifications. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at this one. It's really well decorated. You know, I like some of these older ones. They're really well decorated. A little bit tippy on the moment, but hopefully it will straighten itself out. But really well decorated. If we look here, you know, I like the name on there. I really like all of this design there. The woodwork, that would likely all be wood paneling on there. So really, really nice color choices on this. I really like the way this one looks. We're swamped here, which isn't great, but you know, it is what it is. So let me go ahead. I need to read the instructions on these. Steam ones tend to take some time. Let's go ahead, and I want to get it up and running, and that way we'll get it going. So cold start. Open the air valve on the port side of the boiler. So I need to find my way there, so we'll do that. I'm afraid of getting water in places like this. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look in here while we're here. So we have some napkins and plates. So there's a nice little galley in here. Very cool. A little bit of clipping. I'm not a huge fan of clipping, but you know, it is what it is. Meat grinder, light switch. So, you know, let's check this starter procedure on the lights. They flicker. Very cool on that. That's a very nice detail. I like that. We're swamped out, which I'm not thrilled with, but you know, we'll work with it as we can. All right, so we're in the boiler room here. So this appears to be port side. There's an air valve, so we need to look for that. So here it is here, air valve. Turn on the ignite key in the front of the boiler. So this is pretty easy to follow. So ignite, firebox, and pumps. Okay, good. When playing alone, turn on the single player switches on engine panels. Okay, where's single player switches? That's engine room. Oh, interesting. Oh, interesting. Very interesting. On engine panels. So maybe they're in here. Backup battery, very cool in here. This is interesting. All right, I'm not sure where we're supposed to be in here. Let's see. What's that? Starboard engine steam valve closed. Okay. I'm not sure what I have to do there. If I have to do it, doesn't say it. It just says open the engine steam valves under the catwalks. Okay, it is there. I missed it. I missed it. Okay. There we go. I missed a step. Okay, when playing alone, turn on single-player switches on engine panels. So I'm not sure where that is. It would be helpful if we say on engine panels in engine room, on engine panels in bridge. You know, stuff like that is helpful. You know, it makes sense to you, but like this is just this toggle button. I don't know what that is, and I don't want to touch it. If I don't know what it is, I really don't want to touch it here. So I'm not sure what that does. So I'm kind of afraid to touch it. I really am. Let's see, fill water ballast. Okay, we have some beds in here. So we're kind of having some stability issues at the moment. Hopefully that rectifies itself shortly. But very cool detailing here. Excellent detailing all around here. Really well done. Looks like a water closet in there. A head. Oh, we're in trouble here. We're in very big trouble, I think, here. Let's hopefully we don't sink this sucker. I really don't want to sink it. But that kind of has to be part of the, you know, I can't just kind of not take that into consideration. Kind of have to look at it. I really like that it has a lifeboat on there. We're listing very badly here. Let's see. Okay, here's the staircase. All right, let's hopefully get up here and be able to move on with where we're at here. All right, let's see. Deck lights, deck spots, navs, bridge, fill water ballast, drain water ballast. Okay, ballast water and leaders. Let's drain this ballast water, see if I can't help right us. You know, it's this might be set up for when the there's no vehicle on there. So let's get all the ballast water out. That could be our problem, that we have all this ballast water in there we don't need. Whistle. Oh, that's very cool. I like that it animates out there and it pulls in the whistle. That's super cool, dude. I like that a lot. That's a really cool feature. I like that because it would just be a pull cord. So I'm hoping this ballast water will straighten us out a little bit here. That would be nice if it does. So we have telegraphs there. Let's see. Spotlight. Let's get on this helm. I like how you did the wheel and then you have a helm there. I like that. Release shore brake. Okay. So I still don't see this engine room. I'm glad I kind of came up here to start everything up and get it going here. But we have a lifeboat. That's a cool addition. As you can see, we're doing fine now. That's fine because, you know, you launch the vessel without a vehicle on it. You want the ballast in it. With the vehicle on there, you probably want no ballast. So that's fine. I just didn't know that. So that's fine. What's this? Oh, come on. Please don't sink. We're doing so well. Okay, this looks like engines in here. Let's see. When playing alone, turn on the single player switches on engine panels. All right, see, this says toggle button. I don't know what that does. This says, see, I get confused here because I don't know what it is. So single player right there. Okay, good. So I still don't know what that is. Single player is on. Okay, open valve. All right, I'm not sure yet. So we won't touch that. Single player has been turned on. Basic operations. In the bridge house on starboard side. Okay, exterior lights, 80, helm steer. The engines will automatically respond to your telegraph signal if single player is enabled. Okay, good. So that's fine. All right, use arrow keys on the engine panels to adjust steam flow manually and then reverse levers. Okay, so when we're in single player, the telegraphs will work. So that's on. If not, you would control the steam here. That's very cool to be able to operate the engines manually. Or if you were, if you had a helper down here, that would work. So that's very cool. I'm just not gonna do multiplayer, of course, because I'm not multiplayer. A lot of clipping. I'm not a huge fan of clipping. It breaks the immersion for me. Like such a beautiful ship, and then things clip. That's just personal preference, I know. So I don't ding it too much for that. But it's just, you know, personal preference is, you know, such a beautiful ship. It is really immaculately detailed. Like stuff like this is awesome. But just something like, you know, that little clipping kind of breaks my immersion just a little bit. All right, so let's go ahead, and I am presently. I need to turn. So what we want to do is let's go reverse, forward. Let's try to rotate us here. So hopefully we get motion here. Okay, so I have my port screw going forward. My starboard's not going to reverse, which is interesting to me. Let's go full reverse. I'm not getting any reverse, which is interesting. Up, up, up. Come on, come on, come on. Stop, 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 stop. Yeah, so see, I hit that because my starboard's not responding. I don't know if it's something I did. Very well could be something I did. I'm not getting starboard screw at all. So I don't know what's up with that. Let's see, what are you? Whistle. Okay. Let's go all stop for a second here. Let me just try to get straightened out here. Alright, I don't know why my starboard's not running. My starboard appears not to be running. Spotlight, okay, that's spotlight. Alright, completely empty the water ballast before embarking when carrying heavy cargo. Okay, so it's in here. It's just, I'm kind of in a rush now trying to get all these done, so a little bit late on reading this stuff. But I figured it out myself, so, To embark, first set engines to reverse, then hold spacebar on helm to toggle mag. Okay, that's fine. Alright, so I don't know why my engines aren't responding the way I want, but we'll go ahead and we'll go forward. See if they both come up. Yeah, I'm still having a starboard problem here. It very well could be something I'm doing, so I'm certainly not going to ding you for that. That's likely it works. I just don't know. So I'm going to let this kind of cook for a little bit, and I'm going to just go back down there. I'm going to try to see if I can figure out what's up with this and why. It's probably the single player. I probably have to do it on both sides. Yep, that would be it. So right here, I need to do single player on this side. So that's my fault, 100% my fault. I thought it was single player switch for both engines. It's not. Single player switch for either engine. So that's my fault. All right, here we go. You can see the other one's going. So very cool. There's a steam. I like that. Oh, that's super cool. I like that a lot. I like having that. That's very cool that the wheel. Oh my God, my brain. It's getting late for me. It handles beautifully. It really does. Handles very nicely. I like this. This has a lot of character. It really does. I love the look of it. It's painted beautifully. Again, it has a lot of instructions as long as you read them. A little bit funky underneath, but again, who cares what it looks like underneath? That's one thing that you'll often stress underneath and about what the keel looks like, and you'll never see it. That's a lot of fun. I like that. But very immaculately designed in here. Really, really, really nice detailing in here. Great, great paint job. I really like that paint job a lot. I like things like these little details like, you wanted this moving wheel that you XML'd the hell out of, and you want to be able to, have it move so you can put a handle here. It's a nice way to do it. Alright, and so we should be good. Let's go ahead and ramp down. And I couldn't tell right where I was. Let's go ahead slow. Let's hopefully we're there. Yep, we should be plenty there, so let's go. That's close enough. We should be able to get off. So very cool. Again, I should have read the instructions all the way through, but, trying to expedite a little bit. But, yep, your instructions are very clear. Just I needed to read them. I would, one thing that's missing on the workshop page, not necessarily missing, but I would like to see is compared to your other competitors, some of them had put in pictures with where the buttons were. I love to see that. It makes it so that I don't have to guess. Back when I was in training for airlines, learning how to fly, complex jet, you had all of these diagrams showing you where things were. You would know where everything was on the panel. That is helpful, especially for people who may not have, people who have never operated your craft before. It's nice to have those little diagrams. You saw that in some of the builds. It's a little bit weird ballast-wise just because, again, you have so much mass in the stern, and then you need the ballast water for the bow. So that's a little bit weird. I'd have to add ballast water back to get in, but very, very nicely detailed in here. Really immaculately done. Nice paint. Let's see if I've missed anything. I hope I have not. We're getting water in it. Oh, water's coming out because that was flooded before. This is very cool in here. Lots of great detail in here. I like that a lot. I really don't like clipping, though. That's something that bugs me. but it's not terrible. It's just, it's something that, it's so beautifully detailed, and it's like that little bit of clipping just kind of takes me out of it for a second. But really well done here. I just want to make sure I see everything here. So here are my pumps. And then, yep, I saw these staterooms in here. So very cool vehicle, and thank you for sharing. And the next workshop page is the Black Dragon Industries MCSS-LC. So cool thumbnail here. Some nice detailing on this. I like to see that. Have some good pictures here. This one's a little bit different. I looked at this one a little bit. It's modular. So it has an enclosed bay. First one I've seen with an enclosed bay. So some nice, it's not like Salt Bay. So some nice pictures there by Thermite. Modular Cargo Ship System Landing Craft for my challenge. Black Dragon Industries presents the latest direction improvement of maritime cargo hauling modular. Consider the following scenario. You choose your vehicle, let's say a tanker. You can carry a liquid of choice, but what about the other cargo? You got to get another ship. C, takes time, lost money, increase your blood pressure. It's no good. C, but what if you could just add a part to your ship and handle the other cargo or other missions? Now you can with the Black Dragon Industries Modular Cargo System, MCSS. This landing craft module is only the tip of the proverbial iceberg. Think about it. The possibilities, well, they're endless. Your time, not so much. Purchase of just one drive section and one module of your choice comes with an absolutely free packet of sticky notes. It's on the house. So that's cool, having a modular system. I like modular systems. Have a single power unit and then have a bunch of different modules. Now on to some nitty-gritty specs. Drive section. We won't go through the specs there. Engine, 28-cylinder supercharged 1x1. Modular engine driven by a single screw. Capabilities and features: 21 knots. Modular design. Radar. RGB light mass, water ballast, active fin stabilization, watertight cargo area, automatic bilge pumps, and towing winch. Go ahead and I'll go through this stuff as we do the review. And here's some mast light stuff. Notes: due to the modular design of this vehicle, there are sometimes phantom forces that prevent you from steering in a certain direction or will make the vessel list. The current workaround for this problem is to release the module, then immediately reconnect it. Alright, so just cycle it. There should be no trouble with releasing and reconnecting even while moving. Leaving the radar on while the ship is stationary may cause the battery to run down. While messing around with this build, I threw an alarm clock that will go off at 7 a.m. Stormworks time. Not important, just a fun fact. So if I hear a buzzer, that's what it is. Here's some credits. Nice to see the credits. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at the build. Alright, so here we are with the MCSS. So I like the design. It's definitely unique to have a modular design. So as you see, this is most likely the power unit here in the back. That is the module in the front. You can kind of see where it attaches there. Very cool that it's modular. I like the paint job. Paint job's nice. Some good detailing in there. I like this this brown line around the side here. That gives some depth. Have some nice lines across to give it some shadow. Very cool. Nice round look to it. Have some winches on here. That's likely for the attachment system, I would imagine. But who knows? I'm not sure. The life ring there. What's down here? I like this. So I like this little workbench. That looks good. Good detailing there. Nice little bit of detailing down here. It's an engine room. It doesn't have to look like it's your master bedroom. It just needs to look like it's how it's supposed to be. And so looks like a little engine room down here, and so that fits correctly. Night lights and daylights. I like this little lighting switch there. That goes well with it. Looks very industrial. And so it should click here. Where are we clicking on this? Right here. I'm trying to find the door here. Where's the door? This is a game. Oh, okay, it's under the feet here, so it's right here. There we go. Okay. What do we have back here? Some rope storage, winch. Alright, so let's go on inside. Alright, we have the bed with the alarm clock. Hopefully the alarm doesn't go off. Nice little bit of detail in there. Storage closet. Oh, that's nice. I really like that. That's cool little nook. Yeah, I like that. Daylights. We'll go on daylights here. Alright, so let's go ahead and we'll look at the instructions. Alright, so it says turn on appropriate mast lights and nav lights. So mast lights and nav lights. So mast light, we're going to turn on the anchor. And we'll go ahead and turn on nav lights. So those come on. Alrighty. So nav's and masts are on. Turn on engine ignition key. All right, WSAD controls the vehicle. AD rudder, throttle, WS sticky. Nice to see it says sticky on their foghorn. And one is reverse. All right. So landing craft operation. Approach the beach at 8 or less knots. Let's go ahead and get moving while we're here. So release module, heater, winches in and out. Sealed door, outer door. We'll leave those alone for now. Knots. Engine RPS, engine temp, battery, fuel. That's ballast and throttle. Okay. Radar. We'll leave the radar off. Let's go ahead and start moving. Alright, gently beach the vessel. Don't let your prop out of the water. You may be in for a hard time getting off the beach. Open outer doors, then open the seal door. Both ramp deployed. Mag-all activation is automatic. Alright, so we're moving pretty well here. Steering really nicely. Alright, so starting to do that hang up they were saying with the module, so let's slow down here. Alright, so we're having a little bit of an issue. Thermite said that if you have the issue, release and reattach the module. Alright, let's see if we can steer again. Alright. So I have to be careful with this one. The module is a little bit wonky because of, you know, game physics, so, you know, just a game thing of how the game works. So we're going to come in slowly. We're going to put this all, you know, put this up there, and then we're going to quickly do the outer doors, and that will mag all. So I'm going to go in third person just to make sure we get this one, because this one has to be a little bit on the picky side. There we go. Alright. And then sealed door. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Trying to get to mag all here. Okay, come on, come on, come on. Don't go all the way up on the beach, please. Alright, that's fine. Come on, stop moving. My throttle's all the way back. Stop moving. Alright, let's go ahead and sealed door. I didn't want to open the sealed door until the until it stopped moving on me. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look inside. So pretty cool in here. Definitely a unique concept. I like that. So we have some rope storage on either side there. Watch your steps. I like the ramps. The ramps are cool, how they kind of bend over the bottom door there. Cool, definitely cool and different and innovative in here. A couple ladders in there. We have a light, so that's cool. Let's go ahead and jump in. So it definitely built to the specs of my vehicle, as it's the ladders work perfectly with it. Alright, let's go ahead and watch it come out. So perfect, works really well. It's a little bit wonky, you know, this is actually the second time I've run it. You know, with that module, it will, you know, you have to detach the module sometimes. I think the first run I gave it, I had to detach the module 3-4 times, and then this one I had to detach it just the once. And so you get to a situation where it doesn't want to steer anymore, and you have to detach the module. So, you know, that's kind of a thing, a little bit of a risk. You know, it coming up on shore, it was a little bit of a challenge. You know, the mag-alls are not really grabbing all that well, so I don't know what you can do with that to try to get those mag-alls. But part of it's where I chose on the beach. But you know, again, you don't want to have to kind of, you know, back it up. You know, you kind of want to be able to put it wherever you want on the beach and have it work. So maybe maybe readjust the mag-alls a little bit so they grab. But again, this is fine. I just pushed it out of the water. Hopefully, you know, you'd be able to get it back in. But interesting vehicle, and thanks for posting. And moving on to the next workshop page, we have the EDAS Arbalete. So let's take a look. So nice detail in here on the thumbnail. I just wish this frame was on there. It takes away from the good work he did in there. I have a couple pictures here. All right. Created by Black Eagle. Standard Amphibious Landing Craft Arbalete. The Standard Amphibious Landing Craft EDAS is a classical monohull type landing craft. It was ordered in 14 copies by General Director of Armament, DGA, to equip the French Navy from 2021 at the Naval and Industrial Construction of the Mediterranean Sea, NIM. Procedures turnkey, use your eyes. Okay, that's a little bit limited on procedures there. For movement, WSAD. For landing, ramp controls are next to each one. Specifications 28.5 with 7 meters, 16 knots, 5,600 liters of fuel. Power plant 2, motor diesels, crew 4 people, 3 machine guns, and we have a problem here. So cost is 128,000. Let's go ahead and take a look at the rules. So if we look at the rules here, the cost could be no more than $100,000. So we exceed costs, so that unfortunately is a disqualification. So let's double check inside the game. So let's go ahead and look. As you can see, up $128,000. So this is outside of the requirements. So this unfortunately is a disqualification. I already spent time reviewing this and then later noticed that we had 128,000. So this is unfortunately going to have to be disqualified because it violates the maximum of $100,000. So that's unfortunate. Very cool craft, but unfortunately you have to disqualify it. And the last build is the Grouper Landing Craft Yacht Support Vessel. So nice picture here. Again, they made their own vehicle thing here, so I like that. That's funny. By Yuli Build. Nice nice detailing on there. Very cool. So some nice pictures. So very cool. Lots of nice pictures here. Again, by Yuli Build. The Grouper. Nice to have some embedded pictures here. Description: this is a small multi-purpose landing craft mainly used by small yachters to resupply their yacht, be able to host more peoples thanks to extra galley and lots of deck space. Plus, the opening deck of the landing craft makes perfect for docking small water toy to it, such as a jet ski, buoy, or any kind of inflatable installation. So nice to see a labeled control panel here. That's nice. So control mods, rudder, rate of turn, speed, throttle, engine controls, watertight door, communications, lights, and adjustable seat. As you may have noticed, this boat has its controls a little different to what you may be used to have, but this doesn't make the boat hard to control, neither less fun. It's the opposite. The goal of these controls is to make the ship more maneuverable and a little bit more realistic to handle. We'll go in detail through everything. Okay, so firstly, you'll notice the seat is just a padded seat, so you'll be able to maneuver the ship either seated on the seat or standing up. If you choose to seat, you can adjust the seat position using the small arrow. I recommend tilting it backward so you can get a better view and accessibility over the controls. Now for the fun part, the controls. By default, every controls are set to reset. You can set them to sticky using the lower flip switches on your left. Go in one direction. You just have to press the arrow that point there. You will also notice a gauge telling you in what position the throttle or rudder is. The throttle has a maneuver mod which moves the boat very slowly and on a constant speed and opposite with the reset mode. This is about all you need to know to maneuver the boat. The engine on button is located on the right side of the controls, and if the engine doesn't start, consider checking the electrical breaker located in the engine room. Alright, so we have some credits here. Alright, part of JSI. Alright, very cool. So let's go ahead and take a look. Alright, so here we are with the grouper. So we get a little bit of a performance warning, but I'm not concerned about that. So nice detailing here. A little bit of water washed the deck, so I'm kind of wary to open up some of these panels because of it. It has these opening sides, which is unique and innovative. I like that. That's interesting. Has a crane on that side. Oh, whoa, whoa. That didn't like coming up like that for a second there. Okay. Let's see, what do you... Unfold ramp, automatic ramp unfolding. What is this? Ramp. Okay, so that's all the ramp stuff, or some of the ramp stuff there. Can I open this without hitting my truck? Nope. Okay. So that's engine room. I'm very scared to open that with the water, so we'll keep that closed for now. Oh, and we're overboard. Let's go ahead and jump up. All right, there we go. All right, so let's go on in here. A little bit of clipping there. Nice galley in here. That's neat with the plates, sinks. Cool detail in here. I like the stove. The stove looks really cool. Yep. So that's pretty cool to have all the stove stuff. Oh, nice little light on the stove. Very cool. So cool looking stove. I like that. Here is the rear. I'm trying not to fall off the back. The grouper. A little bit of seating back there, so that's nice to see. Some beds. Engine room hatch. Okay, so we have another way down in the engine room. Engine power is on. Okay. That was probably the circuit breaker we were being told about. Neat looking engine. I like the design of this. It's very aesthetically pleasing. Let's see what we have here. Decoy. So that's all faked. All right, that's cool. So a good little bit of detailing in there. Okay, let's go ahead and shut that engine room. And we have the lighting as well. little bit of detailing there. A little bit of clipping. Not a huge fan of the clipping, but you know, you kind of have to do what you have to do for spacing. So this is interesting, the way the seat works. Vessel is trying to move on its own a little bit. So let's do the pretty basic detailing on here. So let's go ahead and I'm going to check some of the instructions here. It's nice to have like a proper checklist. That way it makes it a little bit easier. Like I have to go back through the paragraph to try to read it. So that's a little bit of a struggle just having to do that. So I'm just kind of rereading it and seeing where we're at here. All right, so let's just kind of go through it. You know, I like seeing a proper, you know, flow list. That's, you know, procedures list. That's generally how you'll do it. That way you know what everything's doing and I don't have to guess, you know, or read through a paragraph again. Engine on. Okay, interior light. Spotlight. So the interior light dims on. That's kind of cool. I like that. Radar online. Maps online. Okay, radar zoom. Shut that off. Radio channel. Nav lights. Right. Radios. More radio stuff there. Spotlights. Indicator lights. Okay. Speed, knots, throttle reset. Okay, throttle, turning, and turning reset. All right. So we're going to hold these to start, and because it's a padded seat, I have to hold my controls. That's fine. I can also do turning and throttle sticky. All right. So I'm doing a full turn here. We're having turning problems, you know. So it's a little bit iffy on the turning. Single screw, so I can't use more than one to go there. Alright, so it's a little bit better going forward. Sometimes you get that. Reverse can be touchy. So I'm just holding down the forward arrow. So it's intuitive. You know, I'm getting it. You know, I'm going to just keep it in the mode where I hold it because that, you know, we're going to be docking soon. Nice feature that if you know, want it sticky, you can have that. So progressive rudder, then it resets instantly. So you notice that. That's interesting. Seems to struggle a little bit holding this truck, but it's not too bad. It was starting to do circles there when it was at the dock. You know, it was having the performance warning, so it wouldn't surprise me if it was starting to, you know, have some performance issues. So I'm gonna kind of try to beach it a little bit because I don't want it rotating while I'm trying to unload. Okay. Let's take a look. Alright, so that should hopefully be good. Let's go ahead and do it before the game decides that it doesn't like what I'm doing here. Alright. Let's go for this ramp. Alright. Ramp, automatic. Okay, ramp there. And then we have... Okay, so that goes up like that. Okay, what's that? Alright. Okay, what's going on here? I don't know what's up with this. Okay, there we go. Alright, I was doing it backwards. Alright, that's fine, so that's good. I'm going to turn on the ramp anchors here, and I'm going to go ahead and try to push this up against it there and see if I can't get it to grab better. So, let's go back and redo it. Now let's reverse this. Now, so we use the anchors and the ramp to try to get it to grab here. So definitely steers forward better, so we'll give it a little power. Generally with a boat, you give it some power, it's gonna steer better. You need that flow over the rudder to be able to actually turn yourself IRL on a boat, so. There we go. Okay, that's grabbed. Let's go get it before something happens, and we have to do it again. Alright, 6. Alright. Park brakes off, and let's go. Alright, so here we are unloading the Groupa. So very cool. So definitely innovative and a little bit different. You know, the control scheme, well, you know, it's pretty intuitive. It's not bad. Would have liked to see a little bit on the workshop page. You know, like a proper flow list where it tells me what step to do after each. You know, it wasn't bad, but I have to figure it out myself. So, you know, if I don't control it right, you know, I'm doing my best. It's always nice to see exactly how you want to control. It's a little bit, sitting a little bit funky, you know, with the vehicle in there. But it worked well. You know, it's a cool design. It's kind of neat that it has those side flaps and a crane. So very cool build, and thank you for sharing. And we have a two-way tie for points winners. Your first points winner is the Holtlink Landing Ferry by NeatNaut. And the other points winner is the Modern Landing Craft by Mr. G. Congratulations to NeatNaut and Mr. G. You are the shared points winners for the Build Challenge Foxtrot. Congratulations. These were some really great builds. Thank you for sharing them. And Captain's favorite is SLC Bolla by Mountain View. Congratulations, Mountain View. And the next winner is up to you guys. So after the video comes out, there'll be a link in the description for community voting. You'll have about a week to vote for your favorite build. So make sure you try them out. Make sure you watch the video. And make sure you go on to the Discord and vote for your favorite. And a special thanks to all the participants of the Build Challenge Foxtrot. This was really a fun challenge. Bunch of really great builds here. Thank you for participating. And we'll see you in the next one.